All right, look, I'm going to make this short and sweet, and I promise I will, because I want to make sure, because the last one was 7 hours, but this one's just really short and sweet, okay? I hope everybody on my Facebook sees this. I would private message it to you all, but most of you have blocked me from being able to message you on Facebook. For the past year, especially the past few weeks, many people, even people from high school, people who have been on my Facebook page a long time, I've been trying to private message you, okay, for a bunch of different things, important stuff, not to just spam you with religious content or any of that. I try to reach out to you to invite you to certain things. I try to ask you about other people that I can't get in contact with, or let you know someone died, or hire you as, I have someone who needs to hire you because you're a contractor of some sort. Maybe you do woodworking, maybe you whatever, and I can't, and then I go and I find that I'm blocked from messaging you on Facebook. And that any of the messages I've sent over the past couple years or months are still purple or white. You never even saw them or received them because you blocked me from being able to private message you. Some of you have even gone as far as making it so I can't even comment on your pages. Why are you even friends with me on Facebook then? Are you one of those haters that you like to watch and see what I'm up to? Maybe for entertainment reasons, or maybe you've even blocked me. Maybe you've even set it up in your news feed so that you don't even see my content when I post it. A lot of you have told me, without even realizing that you're putting your foot in your mouth, oh, I don't see anything from you on Facebook. But we're Facebook friends. Oh, yeah, and then I realized, yeah, it's because you could actually change the settings on your Facebook so that you don't see stuff that Steve Danello posts. So, are you only on my Facebook page, to stalk or spy, or just because you don't want to hurt my feelings? Because I'm a real good person to know, and I'm a sensitive person, and there's no reason for you to be such a douchebag, but you are, and so you stay on my Facebook page, and I'm not just talking about a lot of you who are in my church. I'm talking about people I went to high school with, most of you, I'm realizing more and more, you are nothing but a bunch of douchebags. Okay, and I'm sure you have worse to say about me, and I would love to really tell you what I think now. But being a Christian, I'm limited to douchebag. That's bad enough, if you even know what that is. Because I'd rather have 5 Facebook friends than a bunch of people on there who I can't contact when I need to. What is the point of having your contact? What is the point of, I don't have your phone numbers. I can't call or text you for anything important. I can't message you on Facebook because you blocked me. And it's usually important when I try to reach out to somebody. Okay? Why are you on my page? Just please unfriend me. I don't care if I lose 500 people. You're useless. What is the point of staying in contact with someone on Facebook when you block them from being able to comment or message you or reach you in any way? Like, seriously. Now, before I end this video, I really mean it. Please, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You're doing me a favor. Because what really hurts me is that every single damn time I go to reach out to somebody, we might not have talked in years. And it's really important. Okay, like I'm trying to get a contractor right now for somebody, and it was a very lucrative gig. And I reached out to one of y'all, and I realized you blocked me from messaging you, and you haven't even gotten the last few messages that I've been sending. And then I go and I look on your page, and it's like, okay, you know what? Your loss for a very lucrative job, because you have your own business, right? Well, do you realize, and some of you cut hair, you have salons, you cut hair. I'm always looking for someone to cut my hair. But you know what? I'm not going to give you my money, you douche. Because even though I know you and I went to school with you and I thought we were friends, but you don't deserve my business. Because you do stupid douchebag things like that. So, you're only hurting yourself. Because you're hurting a good person. And maybe you don't believe in Jesus, but you will soon. But you know what? You don't like me because I'm a Christian? Well, anything I have to say to you is important, even if you don't like to hear about it. I don't post stuff that's not true. I am not a conspiracy theorist. Maybe you want to think I am because you don't take your rose-colored glasses off and you don't want to see the reality of the world we live in. So I'm sorry to burst your stupid little bubble. So you block me because you don't want to know the truth. And you certainly don't want to hear about God and the devil. But you're going to wish you did when you're burning freaking hell for eternity. And I'm telling you, it's a very real place. Now I'm getting crazy. Now I'm giving you a reason to not want to associate with me. Because I've been nice as honey. I've been the Steve Danello that I've always been for many years. And it doesn't work. It gets me blocked on Facebook. It gets me unfriended. Maybe if I was a jerk like this all the time, maybe you'd have a little more respect for me. I don't think so. Then you'd have a reason to block and unfriend me. I can't get through to you people. So if you want to go and burn in hell, go ahead. Burn in hell then. I don't care anymore. But we do this as Christians because we know it's true and because we actually care about you. More than you obviously care about yourself. So you would be wise to hear what I have to say. Because I didn't live a normal worldly life like most of you. Just go to work 9 to 5, play on the stupid hamster wheel like everybody else. No, I've spent the past 44 years of my life living a very supernatural life, a walk with God, a very real God. I know stuff that would blow your mind. I've studied and read so many books. I've had personal, first-hand, eyewitness, hands-on experience with supernatural things that would keep you sleeping with a crucifix in your hand and a light on all night long. You have no idea who I am or what. You just know somebody who you went to high school with. Oh, he was always a loser. You don't know nothing. And you don't know God because God uses those little losers that you people bullied, you little popular jerks in school, to do great things in this world. He doesn't choose arrogant, proud, haughty, vain, materialistic, godless people, you know, the ones who used to do the bullying in school, the popular crowd, to get stuff done. No, he chooses the meek, the humble, the ones that you guys look down your nose at and beat up in the lunchroom. Yeah, people like me. And yet people like me still love and forgive you and actually care enough about you and your family to try to teach you stuff, to try to tell you what's up in this world, in politics, in Hollywood. I was in Hollywood. You don't even know. The stuff that I could tell you would get me killed. I tell you a lot on here, but there's things I can't even say because I would be missing. Trust me. And you think that you know more than me? You think that what I have to tell you is just stupid or crazy Bible banging stuff that's that's just what you believe, Steve. No, it's reality. You take me for granted. You really do. You don't know me. You don't know the life I've lived. You don't even care, obviously. You never cared about me in school. You never cared about me. You never respected me. And so obviously you're going to continue. You know what I realized? Most of you who were popular, arrogant little jerks in school, the popular crowd, good looking, or the thugs, the losers, always getting in trouble, always getting arrested, you still haven't changed. You still haven't grown up. And in fact, I'm realizing that you're taking your prima donna personality and you're raising your kids to be just as bad as you were. Your kids probably are the next generation of high school bullies picking on kids like me or my kids, if I had any. Because I would raise my kids to be meek and humble and God-loving and fearing like I am. And your kids being all worldly and vain, thinking who they are, spoiled brats, because their parents never disciplined them, because their parents never disciplined them, and it just keeps getting worse. So your kids would be fighting with my kids, which is why I would never ever send my kids to a public school. I went to public school and I didn't want to, but my parents made me. I hated it. It was prison. Then I went back a few years after graduation to become a faculty and teach in the public school. Oh yeah, I taught for a couple, and I was run out by the faculty. Okay? They were just as bad to me as they were when they were my teachers. And you know what I learned from that experience? that the reason I hated school, we're taught as kids that the teachers are adults and they care about the kids and they have our best interest at heart and that we can trust them and we're safe with them. But no, when I used to realize that the teachers would bully me just as bad, and because they bullied me, the other students bullied me. There were teachers that actually let the kids beat me up and bully me and destroy my projects and then fail me. Did it purposely. Okay? And then when I went to work in that school, those same jerk teachers still hated me and made my life miserable even though I was a member of the faculty. And I realized that I was right the whole time. School really did suck. The teachers were the problem. They really were bad people. They really did not care about us students. They really were jerks. And I think that they were picked on in school. So they just became teachers so they can go and do it to someone else. Because that's what happens with you bullies. Someone beats you at home or molests you or whatever, and you go and take it out on some other innocent kid in school until he pops you in the mouth. Then you respect him because he beat you up. But if he doesn't, and you don't bring him to violence, even though he's trying to avoid it, then you'll keep doing it, taking your trash out on them. Because you're a freaking loser. Because your parents were losers. And their parents were probably freaking losers. Deadbeats. So then your kids become freaking losers. And it just keeps going on. And then you got Hollywood infiltrating your kids' minds, making them even more dumb and losers and demonic. And it just gets worse and worse with each passing generation. And you know that it was bad when you were growing up, and you let your kids watch that crap and listen to that crap. You let your kids go. You dressed like a little hoochie whore in school when you shouldn't have been, and so you let your daughters dress worse now in school than you did. And what's next? The next generation, whatever it's going to be, are you going to start wearing thongs to school? Might as well just wear bikinis? Why bother getting dressed at all? Because that's how bad it's getting. I see kids 10 years old, or little girls 10, 12, 13 years old, and this is back in 2006 when I taught. I don't even want to know how bad it's gotten since I've been in the school system as a teacher. Okay? And those little girls, you couldn't even tell they looked like they were 19-year-old prostitutes. It's getting worse and worse and worse. No ethics, no morals, whatever. But you know what? I'm digressing. It doesn't even matter. I've said enough. There's a reason why people either like me and accept me for who I am because they know I'm speaking the truth and I'm not a stupid person, and they get me. But there's also a reason why a lot of you, most of you, do not like me and respect me, and you block me. You keep me on Facebook because just because it's some kind of a TV show for you. Oh, this guy's funny. He really believes this stuff. No, it's actually true, moron. You're the idiots. You've never been in Hollywood and Screen Actors Guild. Have you been to penthouse parties in New York and LA with orgies and satanic rituals and bloodletting and piles of cocaine and people being kidnapped? I have. I've been a victim, and I've also been there. Okay, there's things please, most of you thought you're all big and bad and, ooh, you knew so much in school. Yeah, you're street smart. Yeah, you're thug. Yeah, money, cash, hose, maze, Puff Daddy, oh, Taylor Swift, I'm a Swiftie. You don't even know what I know, because I was brushing shoulders with these people that you idolize. I could have been the next one you idolize if I wanted to. Yes, literally. Not now, but when I was in my teens and 20s, I was there, and some of you didn't even know. Because I didn't show you that I had a double life. That while I was going to school and putting up with your crap, I knew I was working on a career in the background that was going to make me rich and famous one day. And then when I was in my mid-20s and early 30s, I really had opportunities to be the next Channing Tatum, the next superstar. But I didn't want to sleep around and get tossed around and get raped by men just to become an A-lister. Oh, and drink adrenochrome. Look it up. It's real. I didn't want to join them. In fact, they wanted to kill me because I wouldn't and I knew too much. You don't even know oh man, there's a reason why I'm on Jesus Christ's side. Because Jesus Christ is real, and I happen to have seen him in person, and a lot of other supernatural things like heaven and hell. It is rare, but there are many of us out there who have experienced these things. And we try to sound the alarm, and we try to tell you, and you just laugh at us and make fun of us. You know better than us. We're crazy. We're conspiracy theorists. We're stupid. Why the hell would I do this? It's not making me popular. I'm not getting rich off of it. I don't have a lot of friends. It's costing me everything. I'm doing it because it's the friggin' truth. Forgive my language, but it is. And you don't want to believe it, or you don't want to hear it because it scares you. And you're putting your lives and your kids' lives and your eternal souls all in danger. Because you don't listen to me. You don't listen to anybody like me. You don't listen to Jesus himself, who is the one true God. You don't read the Bible. You don't go to church. What the hell are you doing? What do you do for God in your life to make you worthy of heaven? Nothing. That's where you're going to go to hell. What do you do for your fellow mankind besides make money off of them if you have a business? Nothing. You just live for yourselves in your own little bubble, in your own little clique. Oh, I just love me and my family and my kids and maybe a select few individuals. You only care about people who care about you and what they can do for you, and you only care about yourself. You are not a Christian in any way. That's why you don't know anything, and you go and follow Hollywood, and everything's about just going on vacation and doing drugs, and oh good, we legalized marijuana. I know why they did that. I know people who are politicians who flat out told me things. You wouldn't smoke it ever again if you knew that they did that for a reason. You morons. It's not, I just like to get, oh please. You take everything hook, line, and sinker. You deserve the hell you're going to end up in. You deserve the life that's coming for all of you on this planet. You're slaves already, and you don't even scratch the surface of slavery yet. You have no idea. You're so dumb, stupid, ignorant, fools. You think you know so much, but you don't actually know anything. And everything they taught you, including in school, which is another reason why I refused to be in a public school system anymore, is because it's all propaganda and lies. Everything you think you know, everything they taught us for 12 years of school or college, BS, nonsense, useless, don't matter in the grand scheme of things. They just program and brainwash you and I to just go to work every day to keep... Work is not... They don't even need our money. Money's fake. Money is just a way to control. You and I need it in their system. But they got all the money and power. They just print it. It's just something to keep... It's like putting a carrot in front of a donkey to keep it moving. It keeps you going. It keeps you occupied. It keeps a lot of you so preoccupied in trying to achieve fame and fortune and money and comfort and luxury, the American dream, that you don't even realize it's bullshit. It's a trap. It's a trap. And it keeps you making them go. You're running their businesses. And those businesses, oh man, listen, prison starts in a school system. And they get you prison-minded. That's why prisons and schools and the cafeterias, everything looks so similar. Okay, and hospitals and mental wards, they're all the same cookie-cutter buildings. They just get you right out of the womb. They start brainwashing you through social media, TV, whatever. And program, and then school system is like a Nazi prison camp, a rehabilitation camp, a re-education camp. And then by the time you get out of there... Oh, and by the way, if you don't fall for their crap, you must be mentally ill or autistic. No. Autistic are people who are so intelligent that they're not buying into the crap. That's why they don't need it. They don't fit into the system. Because they're not a bunch of stupid, blind lemmings going off a cliff. They think for themselves. They like me. I used to think outside the box. I knew what school was all about the whole darn time. That's why I didn't care about my grades or SATs or going to college. I knew I was stuck going to prison so that my parents didn't have to deal with me most of my life growing up. Oh, let's just send them to a daycare called school. Let's just send them to prison or boarding school so that we can enjoy our time without the kids. Or so we can go and play 9 to 5 and be on a hamster wheel working for the man. I think you're doing your kids a good service by sending them to public school and then paying all your money to go to college so they become godless, stupid, libtard politicians. Oh, please. You don't get it. I spend so much money and work so hard on these stupid college degrees. Oh, I'm a psychologist now. You're nothing. They got you. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You know a bunch of useless stuff that if you were to die right now, it's not going to do anything for you in the next life. The next life that they teach you not to believe in that is very real. The one thing you need to know is your true origins and the Bible and God and why you are here, why you're human, and that there is a eternal life waiting for you after this prison. And this is a testing ground to see what you're made of, to see whether you're worthy to go up or be burned like refuge. That's it. They're not going to let you know that. Stupid. Oh, well, I'd just rather play the game. Come on. I'll just be comfortable. Let's just play the institutional bull crap. Because that's just everybody's doing. That's just how it is. Until what? Until what? You die? And then what? Then you realize you wasted your life. You never got to enjoy it because everything was about money, 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 and they always kept you make you feel like you needed these things, and you could never think for yourself or just enjoy this beautiful world because there's all these rules and laws and restrictions, and you got to work so much and pay so many taxes, which is why they can make you pay taxes. So they make you have to work. They make you have to keep getting in debt and pay for APRs and all these things and credit cards. It's all a trap to keep you indebted to them so you have no choice. And if you don't pay, you go to jail. People like me who refuse to do credit cards anymore, if I can't afford it, I don't have it. I do without. I live very simple. I don't need to be in the system so much and they can't control me. And you know what? I'm dangerous. Because I have time to actually really get educated on what's really true and then tell you people and be a whistleblower and actually live my life while the rest of you are trapped. And then you resent people like me thinking, oh, you're a loser. You got no life. You don't have a life. You're the one that's in prison, not me. I'm free by Christ. You're in prison. You're the one that's deceived and doesn't realize what's going on. Not me. Not the Christians. We know what's up. and God provides for me. I don't have everything you might have, but he doesn't want me to have all that worldly stuff. He can give it to me. He could. And I get what I need when I pray. I don't have to work 80 hours a week anymore when I need something because I live simple, so I don't need that much. And then I put God first and make time for him and in living this life and working for him and helping others. And God provides my needs for free. Yeah, no having to go to work 10, 20, 30, 50 hours a week to get what I need. Though, you know what I work for? I only work because I have to pay taxes on everything. And I have to buy food. And I have a cell phone that keeps getting more and more expensive every month, even though they promised that it won't go and I'm setting a rate. Everything's a damn lie. Oh, here, go to Geico and get a better insurance rate. And then it keeps going up and it keeps going up and it keeps going up. And you go to another one, it keeps going up. And no matter where you go, it's all the same devil, same people, different company, all under the same umbrella company. Everything is owned by the same damn elite people with different names. They own all the McDonald's. Oh, I'll go to Subway. Subway's also owned by them. Well, I'll go to Taco Bell. Same thing, different name. People. Listen, I really want to say something that would get me thrown in jail. But unless, you know what? Fuck it. Excuse my language, but you know what? unless you all woke up and there was a big civil war and you literally said enough. If all of you stopped going to work, if all of you said no more, what can they do? There's 8 billion of us and only a handful of them. Just like in school, if you stupid kids that were getting picked on decided to band together and go after the stupid jerk football players and the punks and the thugs and beat the crap out of them, there'd be more of us and less of them. And they would never touch us again. But we didn't think that way. You lived under their fear. Oh, here's so-and-so big and bad. Oh, yeah, he's sagging his pants. Oh, yeah, he gets arrested all the time. So I gotta fear him. Oh, please. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth about those people. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Once you realize that they're actually scared that you might actually hit them back, and you do hit them, they fall like dominoes. Once I learned that, I started punching everybody. But by that time, it was already 12th grade, and then people started fearing and respecting me. If I had known I could have done that a long time ago, I would have been the one walking around being feared and respected. But you know why I didn't do it? Because I was a Christian. I just didn't like hitting and hurting people. I don't like violence. But sometimes I had no choice. Like when I got beat up by 20 guys in the friggin' locker room for something I didn't even want to get involved in. Okay? So then I started having no choice because it was like prison. I had to defend myself. When I'm not going to mention their name, but put up a knife up to my throat in Miss Clemens' cooking class, I saw red and I lost it. And when I put the knife up to his throat, you had to see how he crapped his pants. Okay? Oh, suddenly they never mess with me again. The point is, why do you make people get to that point? Well, this world is making people have no other choice but to break the system and say, enough. Enough, Satan. Enough, world elite. Enough. We're not your slaves. But you know what? You want to know the truth? God is allowing this to happen to most people. The majority. I'll tell you why. Because he is the one true God. He's the one that we are slaves to, really. But you choose Satan, who you don't believe in. You don't believe he exists, but he does. You choose him and his world. He's the one that created this prison system in this planet. Not Jesus. Jesus came to set us free. You've rejected the one who can set you free, the one true God. And so now, by default, he lets you fall into the hands of the devil and his system. And you are his slave. If you would only do what Jesus said and make him your Lord and Savior, if every one of us did that, it would be over. The devil could not do anything more. If 8 billion humans decide to wake up and actually know that Jesus Christ is God and Lord and said enough of this world system and started doing things the way Jesus told you to do it, we would not have these problems anymore. We would destroy the elite. In fact, I think Jesus would come home right now and say, you know what? Well done. Now I don't have to have an apocalypse and throw most of you into hell. I wasn't looking forward to it. I gave mankind the option. You had the choice. Choose life, me, or death, the devil. And most of you chose the devil. So, this is how it has to be. And my people who will choose me, they're going to go to heaven and have a great eternity. But 90% of the majority of mankind who has rejected Christ, you're going to go with Satan because that's who you chose. But it's not too late. See, if we had a president who was a Christian, like if I was president and I got to address the world this way without getting shot, everybody would finally probably start waking up and be like, oh my gosh, we are the people and we can take this back. We have power. We literally can, if everybody just stops going to work, stops paying taxes, what are they going to do? They can't arrest us all. It would catch on like wildfire. We can take this world back from Satan and his elite. But you got to do it Jesus' way. And you refuse. Oh, it's too much fun to live in sin. Nobody wants to be holy. That's boring. Life's too short for that. Really? You're not going to be thinking that way when you're burning in hell as a result of your sin. When you're in heaven, you're not going to find any of this stuff that you think is so much fun and so important down here attractive anymore. You're going to be ashamed of it. You're going to be like, oh, that was total garbage. Like, I spent my life paying for something I thought was pure gold, and it was gold-plated junk. It's a facade. It's a counterfeit. And the Christians are trying to wake you up and tell you the truth. Everything about this world is a facade. It is counterfeit. It is garbage. It is only intended to keep you a slave to this world system and to keep you away from the truth of Christ, which would set you free mentally, heartily, spiritually, and physically. This world does not need to pay taxes. If everybody was a Christian and was each other's keeper, our brother's keeper, the Lord would provide as he always did for his people, and we wouldn't have to work 80 hours a week for the man, for the elite. If everybody was a Christian, there wouldn't be rape and murder and war and starvation and poverty and homelessness, because everybody would take care of each other as a family that we're supposed to be in Christ on earth as it will be in heaven. If everybody read that Bible and took it seriously, you read 50 Shades of Grey, you watch Taylor Swift, you watch the stupid Super Bowl garbage, but you don't have time to really do the research and actually find out the truth. Is it because the truth is too scary for you? You're afraid? Oh gosh, if they're real, I don't want to hear about the hell and the devil because that's too scary. I want to put my rose-tinted glasses on and go to a Taylor Swift concert and just enjoy life. I don't want to think about that. That is as stupid as sleeping around with people with HIV without a condom. Like, are you dumb? Are you trying to get yourself killed? Because it's going to happen. And then try to tell yourself, oh, I don't believe in HIV. I can sleep around all I want and never catch a disease. Really? Tell that to the millions who die all the time from AIDS. They didn't want to believe. They thought they were Superman or something, right? Or, you people, oh my God. It's like this. Most of you are like so stupid. It's like trying to play hide and seek and just standing there in the middle of an empty room, covering your eyes and thinking, if I can't see the seeker, he won't be able to find me. And then when he tags you and says you're it, oh, you found me. You're standing in the middle of the room with your eyes closed, you moron. Of course, you didn't even bother to hide. Oh, I didn't think you could see me because I didn't believe that you can see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh. I'm so fed up with stupidity, and so is God. This is stupidity and deception. Why can't you just do things his way? You're not losing anything of any value. Oh, you can't have sex with all these people. Who cares? It's overrated and disgusting. And it's going to drag you to hell. Be holy and chaste. Get married to a person and stay with one person. Why does everything have to be about money and drugs and all this stuff that the world makes so important? It's all garbage. It's all a distraction. Satan has had so many centuries to work this out. If he was smart enough to get trillions of angels to rebel against Almighty God, to trick them, to manipulate them, you think a human being which is dust and to dust you shall return is going to be smarter than him? The only reason I have any smarts is because of Jesus. Jesus Christ gives me the wisdom. Before I knew Jesus, I was just as dumb as tax as the rest of you who don't know God. I thought I knew everything. I didn't know anything but the lies that the devil taught me from day one. But then Jesus comes into my life and I start reading his word, and suddenly everything changes. Everything finally makes sense. It was terrifying at first, but then it's like, you know what? I'm glad. I want to know. It's like, I want to know. Because why would you not want to know the dangers? Why would you want to take a chance? Like, would you want to walk through a jungle and if you've never seen poisonous snakes or spiders or lions? Or would you want to know about the danger? So you need to know so you don't get eaten up on a safari. Nobody just, people, this is why Jesus said, my people, my children perish. They die, they go to hell out of ignorance. Ignorance. They don't know anything. They think they know everything about everything, but they don't know anything. They don't know the truth about anything. History, archaeology, the government, science, nature, God, heaven, hell, nothing. What do you people do with your time? Oh, I go to Taylor Swift concerts, I go into Disney World, I have a lot of sex, I smoke some pot, I like to drink every Friday, work hard, play hard. Oh, I'm into fashion, I'm on my phone all the time. Okay, what do you do for God? Because you seem to forget something here. You and I, all human beings, were created not for ourselves. We were created to come to know, love, and serve and obey God. We were created to be slaves of Jesus Christ. But he doesn't treat us like slaves. He treats us like employees because he gives you a choice. You could be a slave to him, an employee, or you can just live your life like the devil and go to hell. I give you the choice. I don't force you to believe in me. I don't force you to obey my commandments. But you need to know that if you don't, there are eternal consequences. But I'm not going to force you. If you don't want to go to heaven, you rather burn in hell, I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to stop you. But the truth is the truth. You were created for me, by me, to do my will, not your own, just like the angels. And don't feel bad. Trillions of angels, along with Lucifer, had a problem with that too. When they found out that they were created only to do one specific thing for all eternity. Praise and worship God. That's it. They do not belong to themselves. They cannot go and do their own thing. They're not free. They were created just like if I create a robot to wash my floor in the house. It might decide through artificial intelligence it doesn't want to wash floors anymore. It wants to make cars or go on a picnic. But no, I'm your creator. I built you from scratch. I brought you into fruition. And I created you because I had a need for you. And if you don't do what I created you to do, what good are you to me? I need someone to clean my floor, so I created an artificial robot who knows how to wash floors. And if you choose not to wash floors and do your own thing and quit and run, what good are you? Well, the same thing with angels and humans. God created the angels. There's 9 choirs of them. They all have specific functions. And they have to do their job because there's a job that only they can do. And if they choose to rebel and not do it, God's got to create more apparently, and they go to hell because what good are they now? Now you've got something like a gun. A gun is not dangerous on its own. It could be used for good to defend yourself from enemies. In the hands of a good police officer, it's there to protect and save lives. If you're faced with a grizzly bear, it can save your life. It can feed you if you're starving. You got to shoot deer to eat it. But a gun in the wrong person's hand will be used for evil and murder and terrible things and crimes. The gun itself is not evil, it's the person wielding it. It's what the gun is used for. So when God created angels, he created these powerful beings to do powerful things for him, for good. When they got it in their head, we don't want to do this anymore. Well, now there's these powerful beings called demons running around the universe causing chaos because now they're doing the opposite of what they were created to do. And so now we have a problem. It's just like if you're driving, you buy a new car and you're driving it, you need to go to work every day. What if the car decided, you know what? Forget you. I'm going to Florida. We're not going to New Haven to work. No, I'm driving off you know what? I want to drive off a cliff. And I'm taking you with me. Suddenly, that car is no good for you anymore. It serves you no purpose. It's now dangerous. It's taking you where you don't want to go. You're no longer in control of it. It no longer is serving a proper function that's good. It is now doing something evil. You wouldn't want to be in that car if it decides to take you off a cliff. That's what angels, which rebel against God now, they're capable of great harm. They're useless to God now because they're not doing what he needed them to do, what he created them specifically to do. They were necessary, and now what are they going to do with their spare time? They don't have a job with God anymore. They can't go back to heaven. Now they're mad, and they're powerful and they're dangerous because they're like a gun in the wrong person's hand now. Satan's hand. And human beings are no different. We were created by God for a certain purpose, not to do our own will, but to do God's will. And when we do God's will, everything goes smoothly. God is pleased with us. He treats us like his children. He rewards us handsomely. Everything goes great. There's no crime, rape, murder, abortion, divorce, no evil. But when you take a human being and they use their free will to serve or to not serve, and you take a human being and they decide they're not going to serve God, they're not going to obey him, now you've got a weapon in the devil's hand. Now you've got a created being that's in the image and likeness of God that is no longer serving God or good. They're serving self like the devil, which is not good. And when human beings serve self instead of God, as they were created to do, it throws a major wrench in everything. We're useless to God now. We don't care about God or our fellow brothers and sisters, our neighbors, nothing. It's all about us. And when you start having pride and self-centeredness, you become evil. Suddenly, you're useless to God and to society. It's all about just you. Every man for themselves. I got to get mine. As long as I'm okay, I don't care if you die or starve. I'm not going to waste my time helping you or doing anything for you. I'm doing myself. I got my own things to worry about. I got to live for me. I got to be me. I got to do me. You're not functioning as a proper human being. You're not doing what you were created to do. And now you got almost 8 billion humans down here. Again. Because how many times God's had to destroy the human race? And we're worse. Each time it gets worse and worse. Now it's worse than the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. We are worse than the days of Noah. Influenced by demons, people, there's a danger to you are a weapon for good. And if you don't use yourself for good, what you were intended, you're gonna by default be used by the devil for evil against God, whether you realize it or not. Oh, I'm a good person. I don't really believe in heaven or hell. I don't choose sides. I'm just doing my own thing. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm just a good person. I just want to live peace and harmony. No, you can't. You can't. That's like a bunch of cars on the highway who suddenly decide, you know what? I don't want to be driven. I want to drive. I'm going to do my own thing now. It would be mass chaos. I don't know. I can't force you to obey if you don't want to. And I can't force you to love if you don't want to. I can't get anybody to love me or to listen to me or to do anything for me. And God feels the same way. I certainly can't make you serve God and love him and fear him and obey him. But I'm telling you, you were created to be his child, to reign in heaven, to rule over the angels and to judge the angels. And if you're not going to do that, what are you good for? What are you doing with your life? And your eternity is going to be in hell by default, because you're not going to be capable of going to heaven because you're not doing your job. God's not going to have people up there that are not going to want to do what he tells them. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick you to earth like he did Satan. He's not going to let that happen again. Now's the time to decide. Most of you who are watching me, you're my age or older, you've done it your way or the devil's way long enough. When are you going to finally decide it's time to start living God's way now? I've lived 44 years like a rebellious human being. I did everything I wanted to do for the most part. Slept around, did drugs, tattoos, whatever, went to concerts. But the thing is, it's never enough for you, is it? You want to do it until the day you die. Party and have fun to the day I drop. And then what? Then go to hell? Why don't you just stop while you're already far behind? And just change. Do a 180 and start doing things the Christian way now. I don't care if 8 billion other people on the planet are not doing that. Let them go to hell then. Trust me, when you're in heaven and you see them all burning eternally, you're not going to envy them. You're not going to say, gee, I wish I was with them. I wish I did what they did. Oh, I want to be with them. You're going to be thanking God that you're not there. Whatever. I can't. I know many of you listen to me and you just think that it's just a theory, it's just a belief. That's what you believe, Steve. That doesn't mean it's the truth. I can't show you what I've seen. I can't give you my memories. I can't give you my life experiences to prove that this is true. I can't give you 44 years of research and knowledge and studying science and archaeology and history and theology and personal walk with God and supernatural. I can't. It's something you should have been doing yourself the whole time and you would have seen and experienced. But you wasted that time not pursuing God and the truth, but just living like the rest of the world and just enjoying life or buying the world's BS. That's all you did. You wasted your time. But it's still not too late. You can still be forgiven and used in heaven and go to heaven. But you gotta hurry up, because if you die before you make this transition, it's too late. It's too late. And you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow or next week. None of us know. I've lost so many of my friends and family members already. They died a long time ago already. I have outlived most of my loved ones. And I'm only 44. And the only reason is because God literally himself, countless times. Like, there were times I was drowning in rip currents in the Bahamas, getting dragged across the coral. Far away from the beach. And I was about to take in water and just give up. I knew I was dead. And I go to suck in the water and I'm laying on the beach. No one's around. That was God, or my guardian angel. Another time I was drowning in a pool. In a big pool party. The pool's like 20 yards away from where the tent is. None of the other kids wanted to go swimming in the pool because it was all white. The water was super chlorinated, so you couldn't see anything. It was all milky white. But I went in, and my bathing suit got stuck inside of one of those homemade truck tire tubes that are illegal. And it had a big metal air thing sticking in the inside of the tube, which caught on my bathing suit. And it was really tight. So I got stuck in this thing, and it flipped upside down, and my legs are like this in the air, and I'm drowning, and nobody even sees that I'm drowning, and I couldn't hold my breath any longer. I knew it was over. Next thing you know, I feel something, and I get released from the tube, and I just come up for air, and I look, and I'm like panicking. Nobody was around, and I'm screaming, and nobody even heard me. So I get out of the pool, and I'm in tears, and I run to my parents, and they're having lunch with their friends, and I'm like, I was over there drowning. You didn't even see or hear me? I was screaming? No, we didn't know. You would have found me dead in an hour or so. You know, it would have been a horrible tragedy. 10-year-old kid drowned in pool accident. No people 20 feet away didn't even see it happening. Or 20 yards away, didn't see it happening. You know, like, God saved me. He doesn't do it for everybody. I have a purpose down here. There's something he wants me to do, and until I fulfill it, I'm not going anywhere. He decides. I was crushed in my car in 1996 in September, I think it was. I was on my way to school, sophomore year. And I usually used to bring Miranda and Dale and all these people, 6 to 8 people every day, didn't want to take the bus when I got my car. I was the only one that had a car. And so we'd cram us in, like, we were crammed in my car, literally. Way too many people in a 4-seater car. On this particular day, everybody decided they wanted to take the bus. Well, thank God. Because I had a bad premonition that morning, and so did my dad. But he had a day off. I drive to school, get crushed by a Mack truck in my car. 4-car pileup, run over by the truck twice. The car was a ball of steel. There's no way anybody could have walked out of that, especially if there was more than one person in there. Everybody in the block would have been killed. One big meatball full of blood. It would have been disgusting. I walked out without a scratch. My head went through the window. I felt that. I saw God's intervene and slow everything down as it was happening, and it was like time stood still, and you can see the shards of glass slowly flying across, like in the Matrix. It was like that just happened. All of a sudden everything just slowed down. but I could see and feel and real time knew everything that was going on and that I was being killed. There was this white light that surrounded me. I didn't even see the truck. And then all of a sudden, everything sped back up again and it was over. And I didn't realize there was nothing left to the car, and I was able to crawl out of the passenger side, and I should not have walked away from that. Okay, everybody thought I was dead. My parents got a call from the police that I was dead. They drove by the accident on the way to the hospital and saw that there's no way he survived that. There's no way. Oh my God. So they were very happy to find me in the hospital bed, and I was terrified that they were going to kick my butt because I just caused this major accident, pulled out in front of a Mack truck going 50 miles an hour with a full load of gravel down an incline right at Cedar Lake Road on Route 80, and nobody was killed. There was injuries, but a major lawsuit. We got sued and all that stuff, but it was a miracle. And when I went back to the junkyard to try to get my book bag out of the car, out of the trunk, I found a crucifix that I had blessed and put in the trunk. It came with the car. It was shattered, it literally shattered into 20 pieces. I somehow painstakingly glued that thing back together. You can't even see the cracks in it. You would never know it was once a pile of splinters. It took the brunt of the accident. The truck hit the back corner of the car first, hit the crucifix, spun me around, came down on my legs, crushing. The whole car was just a ball. And then knocked me into Kim Davitt's car, scraped the whole side of her car, and then I ended up 100 feet down the road and hit up against a guardrail. The truck was totaled, Kim Davitt's car was totaled, my car was totaled, and this woman who waved me into traffic, the truck came and hit her door and crushed her door in on her. She was fine. She was in shock. She had a little cut in her leg. It was a miracle. But then nobody got killed. But all the 4 cars, including the truck, destroyed. Mine the worst. So that was when I really became... I always believed, but I knew that I was spared supernaturally. I had one tiny little bruise on the left part of my thigh. That was it. I should have been a mangled mess. After that, a week later, we got in another major accident where I got serious whiplash in my sister's Mazda Miata, and she was flying down this road I didn't want to get in the car with her. I had PTSD. She didn't listen to me. I put on the same outfit which I shouldn't have done, that I had done in the first accident, and something told me not to wear that the first time, and then the second time not to wear it, and I'm like, lightning don't strike twice. We got in a major accident right in front of the Milford Post Mall. The car in front of us slammed on the brakes at a green light because they couldn't see because the sun was shining so bright. They couldn't tell if it was green or red. So they slammed on the brakes. We stopped before hitting them. But there was a guy with a huge Buick LeSabre traveling at 55 miles an hour, was on the phone, wasn't even looking that we had stopped. And we're in a little tiny 2-seater thing that looks like a lot of little Mazda Miata, oh God, what was it? RX-7, that's what it was, Mazda RX-7. Little gold thing. It was really, really tiny. There's no trunk or anything. It was like... And this guy slams into us and flips us onto the car in front of us. And we saw it coming, and I tensed up because, to brace for impact, and that's when I got hurt, because I tensed up, and bam! So we had another lawsuit, but this time we made some money. I got a new car. She got a new car. I had damage to my neck that I didn't realize. But the point was we were spared again. Then I got in a car accident with Melinda Sherman. She wouldn't listen to me. I told her we're going to get in an accident. You got to put your seatbelt on. She was putting her makeup on. A guy hits us. She goes into the window. She's lucky she didn't break her neck. Makeup all across her face. How did you know that was going to happen? I'm like, I know things. I see things before they happen sometimes. I can't always stop them, but at least I know they're coming. When I tell you to put your seatbelt on, you need to put your seatbelt on. If I tell you to go left, you need to go left. It's not me. It's God telling me, don't do that. Turn around now. Whenever I don't listen to Him, trouble happens. I get smashed in a car accident, or something bad ends up happening. So I always listen to that voice now. It's very still, small, but you have seconds to obey. If you don't, trouble happens. Anyway, another time it was in the Bahamas. My stepmother took me on I didn't want to go into this large surf It was like a riptide, and it was big waves, and I was scared, but she insisted on me going on her shoulders, and she took me out into this big surf. A wave comes, knocks us both under. We get separated. I'm being dragged across the darn bottom of the ocean. I almost drowned. I was under for about a minute. I couldn't hold my breath any longer. Next thing you know, I feel this peace come over me, and I'm ready to die. I'm ready to just suck in the water, and I'm laying on the beach. Meanwhile, my stepmother and everybody are still searching for me. Frantically. He's in the water. He's in the water. I don't know where he is. I can't find him. The lifeguards are looking for me. I'm 20 feet on the sand, away from the coast. You want to tell me how I got from the water to 20 feet away from the coast, like away from the water? Just like that? And nobody saw it happen? Neither did I? Okay, then it happened to me again in Typhoon Lagoon in Florida. I'm in a wave pool. This big wave, a tsunami comes. And I didn't know there was a big tsunami thing. There was like waves, and then every once in a while this thing blows, and then this big wave of water comes. Well, my parents were eating lunch, and I had finished early, and they're like, well, you shouldn't go swimming right after eating. I'm like, yeah, but I want to go. And they were taking so long, and I'm like, I knew if I waited for them, I'd never get to go in the wave pool. So I'm like, listen, I'm just going to be over there. I just want to go in there. Okay, fine, we'll watch you from over here. So they were about, maybe a football field away in this restaurant overlooking the beach, and I go into this thing. So stupid me, not realizing, I go and I swim all the way out to the end of this wave pool where this big wave is made. And I didn't realize that it makes giant waves. Like, I just swam all the way out to the deepest part. Well, all of a sudden I hear, "Brrr," and you hear this big crack. And I'm like, oh shoot. And I see everybody frantically trying to swim away. So I'm trying, but the water's pulling me in. And this huge, huge wave comes. And I get pulled up. And I see this big fat guy, he's on a tube right above me, and he comes up and this wave throws him down and crashes him and the water on top of me. And I'm getting dragged across this very sharp concrete bottom of this pool, getting all scraped up. And it's just churning me and spinning, and I'm getting rolled around. Oh my gosh. And all these people, and all you see is bodies and everything all over, And so I couldn't hold my breath any longer. So I feel that peace, and I'm just ready to take in the water and die. And I'm sitting, suddenly, I go to breathe in, and I'm sitting on the edge of the pool. Like, on the edge. Like, all along the edge where the lifeguards are, there's like a concrete wall. How did I get from there, sitting to outside and sitting up with my feet in the water on the edge of this pool? Nobody, and I looked around thinking maybe a lifeguard. They weren't even near me. They didn't even see it happen. There was no lifeguards even looking at me. And I knew that was God, or my guardian angel. Then there was a suicide attempt, a couple of them. Gun didn't go off, should have. Okay? Would have blown my brains out everywhere. Anaphylactic shock 3 times in the hospital. Couldn't figure out why I wasn't dead. The doctors are like, he's in such shock. The first thing that usually happens is his airways close up. But his airways and throat are fine. We don't understand this. He's that bad. But his respiratory system's fine. I survived that. I've had guns in my face. I've been beaten unconscious. I've been raped. I've been kidnapped 3 times in my life. Once in Canada on a vacation by these people. Took me a couple hours away. I ended up getting away and somebody brought me back to Quebec or wherever we were, Montreal, wherever we were staying. In New York, at gunpoint, me and Karasinski, thrown in the back of a Mercedes, they take off. We end up getting them. I made them think that I was throwing up in the back seat, so they stopped to pull over, and I jump out and grab her, and we run. So we escaped them. They chased us a couple blocks, but we got on the subway and we left. And then there was a time in Texas recently where I go and these people pick me up and throw me in a van. I'm supposed to be meeting a priest in Texas, El Paso, and I get these people with leather jackets and stuff, and they put me in a van and take me to this place, and I'm stuck in the middle of the desert, an hour away from the airport, in this walled-in facility that with no doorknobs or anything. You need a key for everything. It was like literally the movie Hostel. It's a torture chamber. But God got me over a 10-foot wall in the pitch darkness. He opened one of the doors that I couldn't get out. It opened on its own. I heard a voice saying, you got to go now. They're coming. I got out. I'm stuck in running around this building, and there's this huge wall. I can't see over it. I don't know what's on the other side. I'm in the middle of the desert. I can't get out. So suddenly I run. I jump off of a planter, and I lunge up and was able to grab the top of this wall and with adrenaline somehow get myself to flip up over it and land on my back. Not knowing what I'm going to be landing on, I landed on sand, and I just ran to the nearest, I called 911 and I ran to the nearest gas station. The police picked me up, and the rest is history. I mean, look, God is awesome, but he wouldn't put up with my crap, forgive me for saying, but if he didn't have a reason. There's so many people who have died in car accidents, and kids died, and all kinds of bad stuff happens. Why me? I don't have 9 lives. God knows that I love him and that I am willing to die for him and that I have a mission down here. I knew when I was born that there was something different about me. I didn't realize that the whole world was going to hate me and treat me terribly my entire life. My family, all throughout school, every job I've worked, everywhere I've gone, I don't belong down here. This world hates me. And I can't stand it anymore. But I love God, and I know that there's a reason. About a decade ago, and this happened a couple times to me actually, I used to go to nightclubs in that place called Karaoke Heroes in downtown, was it Chapel Street or whatever, New Haven, and a friend of mine from New York came up to stay with me, and so we went down to do karaoke, right? I'm just minding my business in this bar, I'm just there to sing, right? And these people are outside. I used to smoke at the time, so I had a cigarette. And so I went out to the alley, and I'm just minding my business, smoking a cigarette. And this girl comes up, she's a bunch of gang full of people. And she goes, what are you doing here? And I'm like, excuse me? She goes, I know who you are. And I'm like, Steve? She's like, no, you're St. Michael. And I'm like, what? I am not St. Michael. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, St. Michael wouldn't be here. She goes, you might not be him, but he's here with you. What do you want? What are you doing here? You don't belong here. And I'm like, lady, I'm just here to have a drink with my friend and smoke a cigarette and play some karaoke. Like, that's all I'm here for. She goes, well, you're not welcome here. And she's like getting ballistic, and these people are getting really angry. So my friend she's like, let's just go back inside. This is really creepy. She's like, they're saying that there's angels around you. And I'm like, yeah, but how would they even know? Like, I thought they were just normal bar people. Then I go inside, and then we sang and whatever, and I'm waiting for the bartender to give me this drink, right? And this weird girl, pretty, but weird, a lot of makeup, blonde hair, she almost looked like Lady Gaga, but it wasn't her, and these really, really long, creepy, demonic nails, like with rocks on them or whatever, I don't know, they were really sharp and black, and she goes, oh, what are you doing here, St. Michael? And I'm like, what is it with you people? I am not St. Michael. Why does everybody keep calling me St. Michael? She goes, I know who you are, and I can see him in you, and I know he's with you. I'm like, he's protecting you. And I'm like, okay, lady, you're cuckoo. Nice nails, nice knowing you. She goes, no. She goes, you don't belong here. She goes, you're a Christian or whatever. And I'm like, yes, I am. She goes, the only reason we're not tearing you apart is because you're protected by St. Michael. But I want to know why he's here. And I'm like, okay, Megan, we're going. Like, I don't know why this stuff happens to me, but it happens often, crazy stuff like that. Then I went to a psychic, right, years ago. Before that happened, there was this lady who was recommended. So she called me up on the phone, somebody gave her my number, and she's like, it is as they said. And I'm like, hi, who are you? Carmen something or whatever. And she goes, listen, I gotta meet with you. She goes, and I'm not gonna charge you, but I need to do a reading. And I'm like, your friend so-and-so referred me to you. And I'm like, okay. She goes, it's very strange. She goes, I can't see you. And I'm like, we're on the phone. She goes, no, I have a gift and I can see, but I can't see you. All I see is white light all around you. It's as if you don't exist. I can't see your future. And I'm like, she goes, I can't see anything about you. I'm being blocked. She goes, I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I know one thing. And I'm like, because and she was right about this. I don't know how she knew, but before I answered the phone, I used to eat really fast. Like I'm always in a rush. Like I don't eat to enjoy it. I just eat to live, and then whatever. So I was like scarfing down my food or whatever, and she goes, "You eat really fast, and it's going to cause stomach problems in the future." She goes, "You need to slow down your eating." I'm like, "Well, that's true. I do have that bad habit." But I'm like, "But how did you know that over the phone?" She goes, "Honey, I'm a very good psychic." She goes, "But I got to talk to you." She goes, "I got to see you." She goes, "You got to come to my house." So we made an appointment that week to go there, someplace in Milford. And she goes, "Oh, I didn't even know you got here." She goes, "When did you arrive?" I'm like, "About 2 minutes in." She goes, "I always know when people are here." She goes, "I couldn't see you coming." She goes, so she ends up doing the stupid reading, and I'm not encouraging this stuff because it's bad. I'll never do it again. But I used to do this stuff, and it opens up all kinds of doorways to the demonic and stuff. We're not supposed to do this, but I did these things in my past. So anyway, this woman, she was right about everything. She was right about my father years in advance, about his heart, aneurysms, cancer. She was right about my grandfather. Everything she said came to pass over the years. Everything. Except even Karasinski. She mentioned my friend Karasinski, and I just saw her a couple months ago, and she gained like 300 pounds. And this woman was accurate even about her. She goes, "Listen," she goes, "I don't know why I'm seeing everybody but you." She goes, "But who's Kara? Karasinski's beautiful blonde girl. You like her?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do, but she doesn't like me." She goes, "No, unfortunately, she should be with you. She really should give you a chance because she'd be very happy with you, but she won't give you a chance. You're never going to be with her. But I know you're very attracted to her." And she goes, "It would be an awesome match. But this girl," she goes, "You know what? I don't want to see it anymore." I'm like, "No, what?" She's like, "Listen, for your sake, I'm not telling you." She goes, "But the more I see, I just keep seeing her, and I don't know why." And I'm like, "Why her of all time people? Like, she's not my closest friend." It was just weird. She goes, "Listen, all I know is this girl's future is so bad. I can't even talk about it. I don't even want to see it." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like, and so I've been trying to get Kara with the Lord. Like, I was trying, and she's going through one bad relationship after another, and she won't come to Jesus, and she wouldn't give me a chance. And so basically, I don't know, but that's all I knew. And this was a long time ago, so about 12, 13 years ago. No, she got real big. I thought she was pregnant. She had like a pregnant belly in Stop and Shop. And I said, "Oh, congratulations, you're having a baby." And she goes, "No, I'm not pregnant." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And she was pissed off at me. She stormed off and called her mom and her boyfriend, and then they started crank calling my phone because her boyfriend got mad that I said she had gained weight or whatever. And I'm like, it was an honest mistake. Like, Kara's always been skinny and beautiful, and then I haven't seen her in a couple of years. We had a falling out, and all of a sudden I almost didn't recognize her. She was literally fatter than me. I'm talking round like an apple. And she had a big belly, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, she must be pregnant or something. Maybe, congratulations, maybe she's married. I don't know." So I said, "Oh," I'm like, "When do you do?" She goes, "Fuck you, I'm not pregnant." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Kara." I'm like, she's like, and then she sucked it in. I'm like, "Don't feel bad, I got one too." She goes, she's like, "I gotta go." And I'm like, I'm whatever. So that was the last time I saw her. And she got on the phone, and I heard her bitching about me to her boyfriend and her mom. And so whatever. The point is, the woman was right, but I don't know what else is going to happen to Kara. And the woman had said that it was such a bad future, she won't even tell me. So anyway, I'm like, "Okay, but you're telling me about everybody, my dad, everybody in my life. What about me?" She goes, "That's the thing. You don't exist." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm right here." She goes, "All I can see is Saint Michael." I'm like, again with this Saint Michael. What is it? What are you talking about? She goes, "God has Saint Michael keeping such a guard over you, I can't see anything. I'm being blocked. Everybody's being blocked. The devil, we can't see your future. We can't see anything about you. And I've never had this before. All I see is him and white light. And I keep getting diverted to everyone else. But you, I cannot see. I'm sorry." She goes, "I'm not even going to charge you for this because I thought that maybe if I saw you in person," she's like, "I can't get a reading on you. It's like," she's like, "the best I can describe it is you don't exist." I'm like, "That doesn't make any sense. I don't exist." She goes, "It's like everybody else has a written future, like a destiny. It's like it's already written. You are a blank sheet of paper. It can go any way." Like, that's all I can describe. She goes, it's like there is no, it's like, it's not written. I can't, you don't have a future, you don't have a past, but you're here. She's like, so the only thing I can say is God is blocking me from knowing anything about you. He's hiding something. There's something about you that's important, that he's got angels surrounding you, especially Saint Michael. She's like, you must be pretty valuable for Saint Michael to be in charge of you. And I'm like, okay, I've heard a lot of crazy stuff in my life. I said, I'm not doubting it, but the devil's a liar too, and you're probably working for him. And so I don't know. So then she told me then me and my father went and got rune stones one time. And I'm not kidding you. Okay, we threw all this stuff away. Again, this is going back to my early 20s. My dad got some rune stones. And so we kept using them, and we learned how to use them. And everything, those stones were so accurate about everybody, all the time. And if you know anything about rune stones, it's the way you have to put them in and shake up the bag, and you don't know what you're going to be pulling out. You just pull out a certain number, and whatever they are, whether upside down or right side up or whatever, you got to read it that way. That's your future. And they were so accurate all the time. Did you know, and I'm not making this up, every single time, no matter how many times, no matter who shook up the bag, I only got blank stones. Every time. Even with my eyes closed, behind my back, there were always the same 3 blank stones. Blank, 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 blank. And I'm like, come on! This is crazy. My father's like, this is freaking me out. Like, this is 27 times now, and it's always blank. So we tried it a couple more times, and it was always blank. So I looked it up, and I'm like, this basically says I have no destiny, no future. It's too uncertain. It's not clear. It's not written yet. I'm like, what does that mean? Or I'm being blocked. It's being blocked. So I got rid of all that stuff, threw it in the ocean, whatever, went to an exorcist, all that stuff. I don't even know why I'm talking about this stuff now. I'm just saying that I'm almost 44 years old, and I'm connecting all the dots. And something is very off here. Something's very different about me. And I'm not saying it like I'm special. Maybe I am. I don't know. All I know is when we did the exorcism, amazing things happened. I felt this woman was speaking over me, and she was right about everything too that ended up happening. They said that I'm being protected by the Saint Michael, and that God the Father is literally fighting the devil over me. And I'm like, well, of course Jesus fights Satan over all of our souls. She said, no, not Jesus. God the Father is dealing with you personally. I'm like, but we go through Jesus to the Father. She goes, yes, but in this case with you, I clearly see God the Father is battling Satan over you. There's something very important about you, Stephen, that the devil is trying to take out. And God the Father has stepped in. Literally. Not just Jesus and the Holy Spirit, them too. But God the Father specifically is taking an interest in this. So you have a big future, but I don't know what it is. She's like, but there's something. The devil has been trying to get rid of you since you were born. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because when I was born, my mother had some postpartum depression thing and gave me a bottle full of pills and everything. I almost died. My grandmother found me blue, got me to the hospital. I survived. God knows how many brain damage it caused. There was a lot of bad stuff. There was hauntings throughout my life. One time, my mother was in the shower and I was in the bathroom, and I was playing, the toilet seat, I was down, I was playing with my Matchbox cars or something, and I heard this voice. Something said, move, go stand between the toilet and the shower. So I don't know why, but I just went and squeezed myself into this little cubby between the showers and the toilet. And as soon as I did, we had a big cabinet on the wall that held all the towels. This big, huge cabinet, must have been like 6 feet wide, came off the wall and crashed down where I was standing. It would have killed me. I was a kid. I was like 5 years old. And my mother opens the curtain like, oh my gosh. She's like, are you all right? She goes, And she was amazed. She goes, "Why are you standing there?" She goes, "Weren't you just there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Something moved me over here." And then that thing fell. And so my dad had to get us out of the bathroom because this thing was so big. It was a very small bathroom. She couldn't get out of the shower. I was stuck in the corner, and he had to come and get this thing out of the way so we can get out of the bathroom. He came running too, like, "What was that? Oh my God." He breaks the door down, thinking somebody fell in the shower. And he's like, "What's the matter? I can't open the door." So he pushes it open, and he's got this big cabinet. He's like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Oh, you're okay." And I'm like, "Yeah." So I'm like nervous because everybody's making this big fuss, and I'm just like sitting there with my Matchbox car, like, you know. Another time I was playing, I was like 4 years old. I was in my room, sitting on the floor, and then all of a sudden, this big dresser just comes crashing down. But right before I got up just in time to go across the room to get a toy, and the whole thing came down. So it made this big crash. My mother comes running in, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And she sees me sitting like away on the floor, like away from it. And she's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Did you climb up on that?" I'm like, "No, I don't know. It just fell." She goes, "It can't just fall on its own. That's a very big head." I'm like, "Well, it's too heavy for me to move." I'm like 4 years old. She's like, "How did this big thing come tumbling down for no reason?" I'm like, "I don't know." But it did. Another time a thing came off a wall. I had this little wooden cutout of flour from Bambi. And I'm just in my room and this thing comes flying off the wall and whacks me in the head. And so I'm in there crying, and that was after my mother died, and my stepmother comes in the room with my dad, and they're like, "What happened? How did this thing come off the wall?" I'm like, I don't know, but it came from over there and it hit me in the damn head. And I'm like, and it hurt. And they're like, "There's no way. Were you messing with it?" Like, and I'm like, I was right here. They're like, "But the wall's over there." And I'm like, "It just came off the wall and hit me." They're like, "How could it just come off the wall and hit you?" I'm like, "I don't know, but it did. It flew across the room and whacked me in the head." It's like, like stupid things like that. All kinds of stuff. I've got so many stories of crazy stuff that happened to me. Being levitated. One time I was stuck on the ceiling and then thrown down to the floor. My parents, the door was locked. They had to break the door down. I had a big gash in my foot. I mean, all kinds of stuff when I was a kid. I was always under attack, like stuff in movies, And so when I started getting into church, all that stuff finally stopped. But it took exorcisms, and it took a lot of dedication and going to mass all the time and prayer. And then finally, I mean, every once in a while I'll still have something, but not like that. I mean, I was seeing dead people. Ghosts would show up, dark spirits, people, loved ones like Eric Evanowskis. I hate to say it, but he used to visit me quite a few times. He actually left a big handprint on my hand one time to get my attention. So I went and prayed for him finally, down where he died, because he would always haunt the area. Shake the dock, scare me. He'd run up the dock and you'd see wet footprints and it would say airwalk in the footprint. I knew this. He always wore airwalks. And so yeah, he drowned in Lindsley Lake. I was supposed to be with him that night. We had a fight. Him and Renee Carasquillo went to the lake. Well, they went bowling and then they went to the lake. Me and Andy Arabolis went to the movies, and because I got in a fight with Eric, pissed me off. We had a fight, and we never used to fight, but that day he just upset me because Andy was seeing the girl I was interested in, Tina, and they were in the room screwing around, and I was jealous, and Eric yelled at me, and I got mad because I'm like, no, because he only knows Tina through me, and I have a crush on Tina, and I would have been with her, but then Andy comes in, and she decides to leave me for Andy, and now they're in his room, and, this is just so messed up, and Eric said something to me in Eric way, and I got mad and stormed out. I said some mean things to him. I said, "We're not hanging out tonight. I'm going, whatever. I don't want to see you," or whatever. I was upset. And so the group split up, and he ended up going bowling with like Renee Carasquillo, and I think the Daddio twins and some other people. And then Andy called me up, and I don't know, he knew I was upset about Tina or whatever. So me and him and I think my friend Frank went to the movies in North Haven. I don't know where Tina was. She might have been there too. I don't know. And then that night is when Frank slept over my house. And Andy went home, and then Eric went to the lake and drowned. So anyway, whatever. A lot of people that die used to come and visit me. Now, some people say, oh, it's not really them. I don't know, and I don't care. All I know is it looks like them. If it's the devil playing games, maybe it is. I don't know. So I pray for them, and then they stop coming. That's all I know. I do the prayers for the dead. I do the Divine Mercy Chaplet. I help them, and that's it. But I don't want any of that stuff anymore. And then Lorraine and Ed Warren came into my life, and I became friends with them, and I went to their house and their museum. And then all kinds of hauntings started happening. And she gave me the book, and she signed it, The Demonologist. But every time I tried to read the stupid book, the house would literally go into poltergeist, like furniture moving and all this stuff. Something did not let me read that book. So I ended up taking that book and some other stuff on demonology, because I used to be into all that and ghost hunting, and I wanted to know. And I tied it all up, and I did this prayer thing, and I threw it into Branford Harbor. In fact, if you go to the end, if you ever went scuba diving, you'd find that all this is true. Over the years, I've put a lot of paraphernalia and supernatural stuff right off the main dock in Branford at Branford Point, where people go fishing. There's a channel there. And I have put bricks and tied bricks to books and all kinds of, boxes filled with like rune stones and all kinds of that stuff. Anything that's psychic and paraphernalia. And I sunk it in the ocean. They say you have to either burn it, bury it, or throw it in the ocean or whatever. All my crystals, anything that had to do New Age, occult, dream catchers, I didn't take any chances. Everything I would just put, and I would tie it up and then sink it right there. And then say a prayer and be done with it. So, that was, because I got involved in all that crap. You remember that? That I did that? Huh. Anyway, so, whatever, I don't know why I'm ranting about all this stuff. Oh my gosh, the time flew by. But anyway, what's the point? What was the point? I wanted to just, I'm mad at people, okay? I'm really disappointed, is the point of this video. I thought I said enough last night, but seriously, don't be on my Facebook page. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ or you don't want to know, then just get out of my life, because I'm telling you he's real. Heaven and hell are real. This is something I know a lot about, okay, which is why I'm a devout Catholic, a Christian at heart. And you know what? Jesus isn't into all religions and denominations and stuff. They used to call Christians people of the way, because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. They didn't call themselves Christians until later. But the point is, a lot of people claim to be Christian, but you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus. He's not really in your life. You're not really striving for sanctity and obedience. He don't know you. And you're going to be in the hands of the devil. There's only two people, the God, Jesus, and the devil. Like there's God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, all one, the Holy Trinity, and then there's Satan. And it's very hard to distinguish between the two sometimes if you don't know the real God. But I tell people all the time, and they don't want to listen. Whether you believe it or not, there's a heaven and hell. There's Jesus and there's the devil. And you are going to be on one team or the other, and you have to choose before you die. If you don't choose, then by default you go to hell. That because you didn't choose. Not choosing is a choice. It's choosing not to do what God told you to do. Choose this day who you're going to serve. Jesus or Satan. People, whether you realize this or not, if you don't have Jesus in your life, then by default, the devil has reign over you in your life. He can oppress you. He can possess you. He can use you like a puppet to do things. He doesn't care. He'll give you whatever you want, or he'll give you nothing, but as long as you end up in hell, as long as you're not a Christian, as long as you don't give your life truly to Jesus Christ. And in this day and age, people like me are chosen out of millions by God, for whatever reason, to warn and teach and get this message across to people. And the devil wants people like me to shut up and die already and get out of here. I'm putting a wrench in his plans. So I need to have constant St. Michael and Jesus and the angels protecting me and my guardian angel, because the devil has literally tried to kill me so many times in multiple car accidents, plane crashes, train. One time I was on a train to go to Florida. I decided to get off the train, I decided not to get on the train, and I decided for whatever stupid reason, which I hated, I wish I didn't, I took a bus instead, which took a lot longer, and I had to keep getting off different buses, and oh, what a pain it was. I'll never do it again. Crazy, nasty people. One guy with syphilis kept touching me. Another lady had Tourette's, and she's stabbing herself with a fork, ripping her hair out next to me, and then throwing her salad at me. Oh, the weirdest people on buses. And so it was like a 2-day journey all the way to Florida on a stupid coach bus. Had to keep stopping in every state and get on a different bus. I lost my luggage. I missed the bus. Oh, what a pain. But anyway, it turns out that for the first time in history, the train derailed. And it was the train I was supposed to be on. What are the chances? Somebody had thrown a bicycle on the train track, and this thing, the train going, I think it was Amtrak or whatever, was going from New Haven Terminal, which is also a bus terminal, to Orlando. And it was supposed to be like less than a day travel by train. But it was a lot more expensive than the bus, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to save, now that I find out that there's buses that are also going here, I'm getting out of the line, I'm not going to spend this kind of money on a train ticket when I can spend half the amount on a bus, maybe get there a little later, but have more money to spend on vacation. So, because I was meeting up with my friend Nikki, who's now deceased, and I went to stay with her, she picked me up, and I stayed with her at her apartment, and then we rented a Ford Mustang, and we drove to New Orleans. And then we drove all the way back from New Orleans. 14 hours there, 14 hours back. And then I got back on the bus and drove all the way home. And that's when I had an encounter with the devil or whatever on the bus. And this woman attacked me with all these weird demonic voices coming out of her mouth and touching me in the head. And it was another freaking psychotic show in front of everybody on the bus. Embarrassing. The weirdest stuff happens to me all the time wherever I go. This stuff is real. It's like the movie Constantine or something. This stuff is real. And I'm tired of it, honestly. I really am, and so I hide in Christ. He's my rock, my refuge, and my protection. I'm just trying to be a holy saint, and He keeps the powers at bay. But let me tell you, when I mess up, if I sin, I get out of line, I am in trouble. The floodgates are opened, and I brought it upon myself. So I had to run back to confession and everything to get it to stop. And it's like, most people won't believe this because even most people who go to church never experience that. I've had priests tell me they've gone through exactly what I've gone through and they had the same charismatic gifts that I have. And then I've had most priests tell me, I've been a priest 60 years and I've never had any of these experiences. You need a psychologist. I don't believe you. Something's wrong with you. And I'm like, you don't believe? Why would I make up this stuff and tell you this stuff in a confessional? Why would I come in here and lie to you, Father? And he's like, I don't know, but I've been a priest my whole life, and I've never seen the devil, and I've never seen Jesus and Mary. Well, you're not special. Why you? Oh, come on. Only saints experience these things. I'm like, well, I'm not a saint. He's like, I know you're not a saint. I can tell by your confession. I'm like, I can't explain it to you. You're the priest. I was trained in Rome. I've been a priest for 50-something years, and I've never had any of these supernatural experiences. I'm like, well, that stinks to be you then, especially since you're a priest. You must be a rotten priest then, because you would think that priests would see this stuff all the time. But then over the years, I started realizing that the only priests who actually do get to see these things are holy priests, like the real traditional real priests, good priests, like ones with incredible faith, incredible holiness. Your average secular priest just does their job as if they're working at Taco Bell. Like they don't see, or some of them don't even really believe. Like after a while they're like, man, I don't even know if I really believe in this anymore. And it's like, well, that's a shame because I can tell you it's true. I've actually had to minister to priests quite a few times. And I've gotten their faith back because after talking to me, they're like, you know what? I know you're not lying. I know this stuff. I can't believe, I've never had it happen to me, whatever. But I believe now, thank you. You're refreshing. You're making me remember why I did this, why I chose this profession. And so it takes all kinds. The point is, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out who I am and why I'm so weird. I know that there's something I can't even tell you guys. on here that, I don't know how to say this. It's another bizarre thing that just happened this week. I updated my resume on Monster.com. I haven't used MonsterJobs.com since 2005. The only ever time it ever got me a job was a very lucrative job that I was stupid enough to turn down. I moved to Florida. Long story short, I put my resume up on Monster.com when I moved to Florida in 2005. Within a day, I was contacted by Disney, and they wanted to offer me a very huge job being a realtor. They were going to they liked that I went to Real Estate School of New England, that I grew up in New England. I'm familiar with the Victorian houses. I had a very good look. I was 25. I was young. I was good looking. I had an impressive resume, and I also had everything that they needed. The only problem was I wasn't licensed for Florida, so they were going to send me and pay me. They were going to pay for me to get licensed as a realtor in Florida. And as soon as I got my license, they were going to give me a job that was as the only realtor, okay, to sell every house one at a time in a place called Celebration, Florida. Celebration is like a little pleasant villa, a little perfect, picturesque, perfect Victorian town in Orlando. It's got its own police, its own library, its own hospital. Like, it's this little, like almost like the Vatican City. It's like this little entity. And nobody drives regular gas cars. They all drive these little 2-seater electric cars. It's like a picture perfect. And in the center of town, every night at 6 o'clock, they blow fake snow made out of soap suds throughout the town. And people go out dressed up. It's always Christmas every night at 6 o'clock at night, every day of the year in this place called Celebration. And people go there, and you see people dressed up as Victorian with the big gowns and the muffs, and even if it's 90 degrees out, they're dressed up as winter Victorians with the top hats and the everything, right? And they're carolers, and they go around, they sing carols, and horse and buggy, and there's all this fake snow being blown on you from on top of the buildings. It's soap suds. And it makes a real big mess. It gets all over the stores, and the stores have to keep cleaning it up every night. It's got to be, they have a cleaning crew that comes through and cleans up an entire town full of soap suds, okay? But anyway, every one of those houses at the time were worth at least $1 million or more, okay? And they wanted to sell it off privately, one at a time. And they wanted one realtor. I know this sounds unbelievable. One realtor to be the face to do it. And they're like, the job is yours. Do you realize how much money you're going to make? I was an idiot, and I turned it down because the reason I moved to Florida was to get into acting. And I was starting to do Dr. G Medical Examiner and skeleton stories. I was working for Discovery Channel doing acting in these TV shows, Dr. G Medical Examiner, and I was playing police and, detectives and, just different characters, on the show. And because I wanted to be an actor, and I heard that Orlando at the time was the new Hollywood East. But I get this job, I put my resume up there, and I get it. The first call I get was Disney for this huge multi-million-dollar job. Like, we're talking way more than a 6-figure income. Do you know the money? Every one of those houses started at $1 million and up. And I would have been the only one to sell each one. So the commission on each one as a realtor, oh my gosh, I would have been a super, super multimillionaire. Anyway, I turned the job down because I was 60 miles from Celebration. And I did not want to have to drive 60 miles every single day. Well, it turns out I ended up working in the theme parks anyway and had to drive 60 miles anyway for a $7 an hour job selling pearls in Blizzard Beach. But whatever. I turned the job down. My roommates were like, are you crazy? My other roommate, Tony, he calls them up. He goes, listen, I'm a marketing director. Like, I can do this. I've got a college degree. He doesn't. If he doesn't want the job, please hire me. Like, no, we don't want you. We want Steve. It's gotta be Steve. Why has it gotta be Steve? I grew up in New England. I'm more educated than him. I'm practically a CEO. I can do this. They're like, no, we want Steve. So I turned it down. I know this is unbelievable, but he can verify. Well, Jeannie Hudson was there also. She's now dead. Nikki's dead. My dad's dead. Everybody was there is pretty much dead. I don't talk to Tony anymore. So I don't even have anyone to back this up now, of course. But the point is, long story short, I blew a major opportunity down there. Then, right after I moved, I worked for SeaWorld for a little while with the animals in a show called Blue Horizons or whatever, with this guy who used to be a bird enthusiast, and he was responsible for the bird show. Well, these stupid big macaws kept trying to bite my fingers off and stuff, and they were biting and scratching, and I was supposed to cut their beaks and feed them and go out in the middle of this show and have these big 6 macaws land on me and then run back, okay, giving them treats really quickly or they bite you if they don't get their treat on time. And so I'm like, I'm not working with these stupid raptors biting me and all this. You don't pay me enough for this. So I quit. And the guy's like, please don't quit. I really like you. He's like, you're a Christian. I'm a Christian. It's a Christian company, and I'm in charge of the show and you have star quality. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to touch the animals. I don't, I'm being in a show, but I don't want to get bit. I don't want to clean the cages. I'm not a zoologist. So I left. Well, the guy remembered me, okay? And so the day I moved, I'm not kidding you, 24 hours after I found out my dad was sick, I found out my dad was sick. I sold the place. Me and my roommates all moved back to Connecticut. I had to be here for my dad. I'm not in Connecticut for 24 hours and I get 3 major phone calls. The first one was a leasing office position that I had applied to 6 months earlier at the leasing office next door, because I used to do real estate and leasing, and it was a lucrative job. And this woman goes, she goes, we want to hire you right now. She goes, and you know what? We'll even give you a free apartment. And I'm like, I just moved to Connecticut. She goes, I'm so sorry. She goes, we finally just had an opening and I've had you on the top of my pile and I'm sorry. Okay, well, good luck. 5 minutes later, I get another phone call from a property management position, okay, that I had applied to when my first week down there. And this woman goes, Steve, she goes, I am so happy that you answered. She goes, listen, remember that job you applied to for property manager? She goes, well, the job's yours. It's yours. She goes, we'll give you a free apartment, a free car, everything. She goes, we'll pay for you to move. I know that you live quite a ways away. And she's like, in Maitland, she's like, we need you to move to Orlando. She's like, but we'll cover all that. And I'm like, she goes, the job's about $56,000 a year, full benefits, a free rent, everything. You're going to live on site. And I'm like, ma'am, I can't. I'm home now. She goes, we'll move you back. We'll pay to fly you back. I'm like, I can't. My father's sick, and I'm sorry. You're day too late. You're really too. She goes, I've had you on the top of my pile on my desk for 6 months. I'm so sorry. It's all about time. And she goes, I've been meaning to call you. I knew you were the one for the job, so I wasn't, and I just thought you would take it. She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, well, good luck. And I'm like, thanks. Then I get a phone call from SeaWorld, and this guy goes, Steve, I said, I'm moving you to Tampa. We're giving you an apartment, a car, everything. You're going to star in the new show called Blue Horizons, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa. No, I'm not. I live in Connecticut. He's like, no, you can't. You're joking, right? I'm like, the show starts tomorrow. You star in it. I built the whole show around you. I'm like, well, why would you do that without telling me? He's like, I thought you would be surprised. He's like, because you said you wanted to be an actor, and this is a huge opportunity for you. 2 shows a day, 6 days a week, a lot of money. You don't even have to touch the animals. The show is all about you. You're the MC. You run the show. And he's like, you're the host. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, listen, I moved back yesterday to Connecticut. He's like, you got to come back here. I'll pay for you to come back. You got to come now. I need you here now. Like, you got to start the show. I can't start the show without you. He's like, please don't do this to me. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not coming back. My father's got cancer. I can't. And he hung up on me. Okay. I really wanted that so bad. The devil, I believe, will tempt you with these things. If I had taken any of those major jobs, I would not have moved home to be with my father the last 7 years of his life. Those 7 years were pivotal because he wasn't a Christian at the time. He had fallen away from church. He started going back to church with me, had a miraculous encounter with the Blessed Mother during a 4-day coma, was completely healed, got a 4-year extension, and then died of cancer. But the Blessed Mother said because of my prayers and the green scapular and the medal I put on him, God was giving him a second chance. But he had to agree that if he was given a second chance, he's going to give his life to Christ. Otherwise, he's going to hell. So my father said, yes, no, I'll give my life to Christ. I'll start going to church. Yeah. And so they let him wake up, and the rest is history. And I got him. He died in God's arms, basically. I was holding him when he died. I felt him go up. He kept appearing to me over the years, showing me that he had made it to heaven and all that stuff and whatever. And people aren't going to believe that, but I saw my father many, many times over the years. And other people who died, and he even told me other people that were getting ready to die, and that I had to go pray for them in hospice, and then they were there, I didn't even know, and then they gave their life to Christ, and then they died, and so God was using me to get, so the point is, the devil will distract you. He will get you involved with fame, fortune, whatever your heart desires, money. But how can I serve mammon and God? Jesus said you can't serve both mammon, money, the world, and God. I can't work effectively for God and save souls if I'm working in a big Hollywood career, or, I gotta say no to what I want to do. And trust me, it wasn't easy. I like being an actor. I had a chance to be a multimillionaire so many times. I realize now that the devil was the one giving me these major opportunities. The day my father was dying was the last time I got it. No, not the last time. Probably the third from the last time. I'm at my dad's deathbed. Okay. He was dying within the hour. And I get a phone call from an agent in New York saying, Steve, the movie role is yours. $40 million. You starred it. You got to get down here right now. The director wants you. And I'm like, I forgot what it was for, some movie. And I'm like, I didn't even audition for it. What are you calling me for? I'm like, I can't. And they're like, Steve, you have to. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you don't take this role, it's going to go to someone else. This is going to make your career. You're going to, $40 million contract. Come down here and sign it and start filming, today. And I'm like, my father is in hospital bed dying right next to me. I'm standing right next to him. I can't come to New York now. And they're like, if you don't get down here within the next couple hours, you're blowing this opportunity. I'm sorry about your father, but he would want this for you. I'm like, no, he wouldn't. And my dad was listening to this, looking at me like, you're not going, are you? I'm like, no, I'm not going. I got to stay here. So they said, if you don't, you're blacklisted. You're never going to get another opportunity like this again. I'm like, then I don't. I said, no money is worth not being here for my father. I'll never be able to live with myself if I leave to go make money. So I hung up, and I ended up getting other movie roles after that. But the point was, that was a major test. And you know what would have happened? I would have gotten down there and they would have changed their mind, as they've done a million times to me, and said, you know what? So-and-so got the part instead. Sorry. And my dad would have died, and I wouldn't have been there to say goodbye. My sister would have jumped at that opportunity because she's a career person and it's all about money and she don't care. But me? No. I don't care if you offer me the world. That's how I am. And I realize now that the Lord was testing me. If you can't be trusted with little things, He's not going to trust you with big things. I needed to be there for my dad. His soul was on the line. I could have been the only person there, the only Christian in the room, keeping the devil away from my father at that moment as he's dying. It is very important that you are in a state of grace and that you're praying for a dying person at their bedside, because that you're the only person they've got in this world sometimes to protect them. Because I'm telling you something that the saints have warned about for centuries. The devil will try to take you out in your life, but the biggest battle you'll ever experience is when you're dying. The few seconds you have left in this world, or minutes, the biggest temptations Satan will come to. Now you figure, well, what kind of things can he tempt me with if I'm already dying, I'm on my deathbed, or I'm crushed in a car accident or something? What can he possibly... I don't know what it is, but Jesus said so many souls are lost at the last minute on their deathbed or while they're dying, because the devil comes and tempts them one final time with the mother lode of all temptations, whatever it is. He either makes them believe that they're going to hell and they lose hope in Christ's mercy and they end up in hell, or he gets them to turn against Christ, or he promises them a new life that he'll let them live, and or whatever it is, and they end up in hell. And they could live their whole life for God and then be lost at the last seconds. That's why divine mercy is so important, because Jesus says He protects you He'll stand there between God the Father's judgment and the devil to protect you, and he'll be the merciful Savior. So anyway, I needed to be there fighting for my father's soul, and then I know why. So I can't trust things anymore. So anyway, what's the point of this? I got way off track and told you all these stories. I can't say what it is, because they're always listening and watching, and I'm not trying to be paranoid. And I don't know if it's God's will that I take the job. But I put my job back. I haven't used Monster.com since 2005. Now, somehow, I start talking on the phone about MonsterJobs.com, referring a young kid to church. He's using Craigslist as I usually use, and Indeed, and I use Indeed. But I said, have you ever heard of Monster.com? He said, no, I've never heard of that before. I'm like, well, you're 24 years old, so you probably wouldn't. I was like, I don't even know if that exists anymore. I immediately get an email from MonsterJob.com. You haven't updated your resume in 6 months. I'm like, 6 months? It's been like 12, 15 years I haven't updated it. What are you talking about? So I go on there, and I change my password, and I go back on there, right? Did you know, I don't know how they did this, my resume has changed drastically since 2005. They had a bunch of things that needed to be confirmed and updated. My entire resume up to my job right now that's not even on my resume. I don't put my current job on the resume until I leave the job, and then I put it on there. I also don't like people to know what company I work for or whatever. I don't put that on Facebook, nothing, until I leave. I don't tell people where I am. I don't trust people. They had all my information. So I confirmed it all, and my entire resume going back from age 16 till now was on there. Updated. Okay, I resubmit it, it's updated, whatever. I sign off. This week, a couple of days ago, I get a phone call and a text message. Hi, this is so-and-so. We found you on MonsterJob.com. We know that you're a perfect candidate for, let's just say this is a very high, respectable, my family would roll over and die of a heart attack if I ever took this job, because they're in the FBI, military, my sister works for Biden, this is above all that. Okay? And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about qualified? So I got back to him, I'm like, you like my resume? What do you mean? I don't even have any college experience. No, but you have all the skills and in high-level security, pistol permits, anti-terrorism, everything we need for this job. It's yours if you want it. It's a uniform position, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but it's it's above the FBI or on the same level, and also kind of in between CIA and something else. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I turned it down. I get another message the other day. Same outfit, same job thing, same whatever you want to call it, agency, government agency, but for an even better position with higher pay. Okay, the other one was $69,000 to $160-something thousand a year. Full benefits, relocation, everything. 16-week training, whatever. This one, same, even higher pay, more specific job duty, stuff that my father would be qualified for, or might not even get. And he worked for the FBI, Fugitive Task Force, U.S. Marshals, President of the Labor Union for the U.S. Marshals, CEO for the federal judges, 31 years homicide detective. He was Hillary Clinton's bodyguard and many famous people's bodyguard. My dad was very high up. He was in the military, special ops or whatever. I mean, my dad was a force to be reckoned with. He was well known throughout the governments. People would call him from all over the world for his expertise and help and hire him out. He did private detective work, all kinds of stuff. Well, I started kind of trying to follow suit with him, but in a smaller way. Like he didn't want me to be a cop. I dropped out of police academy when I was 22 to pursue acting. My father just kept saying, I don't want this for you, I don't want this for you, just be an actor or whatever. My dad, I really want to be a priest. No, forget the priest, just be an actor, but don't be a cop. And I'm like, I have 3 things I want to do in life. 1, follow in your shoes and be a cop. I don't want that for you, Stephen. 2, be a priest. Well, actually, no. Number 1, priest, which my family said absolutely not. They kept discouraging it. 2, be a cop. No, actor. It was priest, actor, and then cop. Cop was number 3. And only to make my family happy and so I can fit in with them and be like my dad. He had a lot of clout, so he could have gotten me in really good jobs with these agencies just based on his coattails. But I didn't want to do it on his coat. I wanted to do it on my own. So me and Jeannie Hudson tried to do it behind my dad's back, and we got accepted. But then my father found out and said, why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you. And I'm like, I didn't want your help. You helped my sisters and my niece get into the FBI. I didn't want your help. I wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to prove to you and the family that I did it without dropping your name and without Daddy's help. Otherwise, everyone's going to say, you only got the job because Daddy helped you. No, that's you. I did it with God. I did it on my own, and Jeannie was supposed to be my partner. They were going to hire us, and we were actually going to be a partner in East Haven PD at the time. I didn't end up doing it. Jeannie dropped out because she's like, I don't want to do it unless you do it. You change your mind. She was upset with me. We had a falling out because we worked hard to get through all the training and the psych evals and just all the written exams and everything just to get in there. But Jeannie would have done anything with me. She loved me, and she was my best friend. We were like this, and we did everything together. She's my partner in crime. We got arrested together. I mean, my God, there wasn't anything we didn't do together. And so I should have married her. But anyway, we would have been cops together. My dad didn't want that, and then I changed my mind. I got a call to do a movie, and it turns out I had 3 movies to choose from, and I picked the stupidest one, which ended up going nowhere, and the real lucrative multi-million-dollar roles I was an idiot and turned down because I had to choose, so I just chose one of the 3 projects, not realizing that the other 2 projects were like lead roles and better, and so you live and you learn. It wasn't meant to be. So anyway, I can't, so it's just a little strange how I'm being offered the job of a lifetime now, working all the way up for the government. I don't even have a college degree. Me of all people. I smell the devil in the details. I'm sorry, but something's up. And if I'm right about the Antichrist being Obama or whatever, and he's still, by the way, did anybody realize that every time Biden's around, Obama's always in the same room? He's telling him what to say. He actually has dementia, and he literally said on public record, I'm only doing what he told me to say. I'm only saying what he's telling me to say. And then he literally said, wait, what was I supposed to say? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Why do you people vote for this idiot? Does nobody else realize what's going on here? How do you not see? How do people vote for this man? And why are they saying they would vote for him again? You don't have a problem. You hate Trump, okay. But you hate him so much that you're willing to have a fake dictator in place, a puppet on strings, who works for the Antichrist. I mean, because the word Antichrist doesn't register with most people unless they're Christian. They're like, what are you talking about? Oh, that's crazy conspiracy stuff. It's real. What are you talking about? It's real. Everything I'm telling you is real. But most people Jesus said in the Bible, their consciences are seared. Which means the devil's got such a hold of them. They're so brainwashed and deceived. They cannot believe. Like Jesus could literally show up and stand right in front of them, and they would deny it was him. They did it when he was here 2,000 years ago. Even then, the devil had deceived the Jews and his persecutors, and even though they saw that he knew things that they couldn't know, and he raised the dead, and he did all these miracles, they knew he was the Son of God, but they couldn't believe it. They still had him put to death. They were blinded. They literally were spiritually not able, not allowed to believe that Jesus Christ is Lord. And it is the same with majority of society. I'm not making this up. It's in the Bible. God literally blinds the eyes and conscience, makes them spiritually deaf, dumb, and blind to reality. Only those who are meant to be Christians, who are being called by Christ to be saved, know what's going on. The majority is literally almost, not that they're prevented, but kind of, they're blind. Like, Jesus wants nobody to perish, nobody to be lost to hell. But he leaves it up to free will. And if you don't obey him, you don't accept, if you don't cry out to him, if you don't ask, he can't do anything. He's there waiting. But if you don't take his hand, you don't ask, you don't make this choice, then you're going to remain in spiritual darkness. You're not going to believe. Your conscience is going to get more and more seared, your heart more and more cold like stone, until it's one day impossible for you to come to Christ. And most people are at that point. So, I mean, they don't even realize that every time they go to a concert, they're literally watching, Madonna started this stuff, they're literally watching full-out satanic rituals right there in the middle of Super Bowl halftime, right there in the middle of a Miley Cyrus concert or a Taylor Swift concert or a rapper concert. And they're literally there, and by you participating and being there at these concerts, you're giving the devil consent to attach demons to your life, to condemn you. You've got to stop listening to the music. You've got to turn TV off. You've got to, I know it's hard, we're addicted to it. Like, we love music, we love movies, it's entertainment. What else are we going to do? I know it sounds, I guess it's kind of true, especially to worldly people. The life of a Christian is boring. It kind of is. I mean, there's times where I want to go and listen to certain music, but the Holy Spirit convicts me immediately. Turn that off. You know better. But I love this song. I always listen to this song. Like, I'm not listening to the words. I just like the beat. It brings back memories, Turn it off. It's literally, listen to the lyrics. Before you didn't know. Now you know. So if you keep doing that, you're telling God you're intentionally rebelling. I know you don't like this, but I'm doing it anyway. Don't do it. Because if you do that, you might as well just open up the door to the devil and invite him right in. Because that's what you're doing. It's designed. Even some of the movies I was in, probably all of them, if not, maybe, there's stuff I hope nobody sees anymore, because at the time I kind of had some feelings about it. But look, when you sign a contract, they own your butt. You'll be sued and blacklisted if you don't do what they tell you to do on camera. And so once you sign those contracts, they own you. You have to do it. You could try to fight it and say, I don't want to say these words, or I don't want to do that role, but usually they're like, listen, they always win. They always get their way. And so I did a lot of stuff because I signed contracts, and that was before I was really walking with the Lord. It was right in the beginning. My career was really starting to take off at the same time as my walk with Christ. And it got to the point where there was a tug of war, and I'm like, I can't, as fun as this is, that I'm hanging out with Channing Tatum, and I'm hanging out with all these superstars, and I'm even sleeping with people on the movie sets, and there's Hollywood red carpets and mounds of cocaine and parties and everything you can want, like the fast life, and I'm riding around in limos, and like I'm in a magazine, and I'm hanging out with magazine owners, and like all kinds of, I'm in penthouse parties, and this is the life, right? But I was already a Christian. Jesus had already gotten my heart. So I was there, but I always felt divided, like guilty, like I can't enjoy this. A couple years ago, I would have been like, wow, it doesn't get any better than this. This is what people live for. Like, I'm one of those people, 1 in a million are actually going to be an A-list actor one day. Like, I'm doing it. I'm living the dream. And the money was good. But my heart was like, no, this is very wrong. It's evil. It's wrong. I could see, my blinders were taken off, and I saw it the way it really was, the way Jesus sees it. And I wasn't able to really enjoy it anymore. I had to leave. And then it started getting weird. people would start trying to get me to join the Illuminati. And people say, oh, that doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It does. And the Freemasons kept tracking me down and trying to get, come on, join us. You have to join us, right? No, I'm not. So I joined the Knights of Columbus. That's a whole nother, they infiltrated that too. It turns out that I didn't realize that when the ritual that I had done was not the normal ritual of, and I can't say what it was because I can be killed. So I'm just going to put it this way. It was more like skulls and bone stuff in catacombs under Yale. I didn't realize what I was doing. I thought I was joining the Knights of Columbus. And they did warn you, like, listen, before you go any further, you either leave now or once that door closes, you're in. That's it. Like, till death do you part, literally. The only way out is death. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're in a church basement. I thought. Well, it turns out, oh no, that's just the basement part until the secret passage opens and you go through tunnels and now you're, I don't know, some crypt with skulls and people in black capes and daggers and all kinds of stuff, and you know, you're taking oaths and the door closes and you can't get out. The penalty is death. And I'm like, oh great, oh this is great. So, but I'm like, maybe it's just all a bunch of whatever, like some kind of initiation, stupid college thing, whatever. I don't know. I found out from other Knights of Columbus who also went through the degrees, that's not what we had to do. I don't know what you did, but that's not what I did. I'm like, that's not normal? No. I'm like, ugh. So then I'm at this party, and there's all these Freemasons, and this young kid, he's like a young lawyer, rich brat, and he kept calling me brother. He's like, welcome, brother. And I'm like, and I looked at him, I'm like, you're a Freemason? He goes, yes, I am. I'm like, he's like, so are you? I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Why do you think you're here? And I'm like, I was invited. He's like, this is by invitation only. And I'm like, okay, well, I know people in high places, but I'm not involved. He's like, you're wearing a Knights of Columbus shirt. Yeah? So you're one of us. No, we're not. I joined the Knights of Columbus so you would stop asking me to join you. This goes against what you guys do. We fight against you. The Knights of Columbus is against Freemasonry. Like, we're here to defend the church from you. He goes, yeah, that was so long ago. He's like, dude, we merged. And I'm like, so I stopped going. I shouldn't even be saying this stuff, but I stopped going to all the stuff. I won't go anymore. They kicked me out now. I found out my membership was discontinued because I don't go to their stupid stuff. And I did pay my dues, but they kept saying I wasn't paying my dues. And whatever. So I have the insurance policy, but that's it. I'm not a member anymore, and I can care less because I don't want to be part of something that I was duped into. But anyway, that I joined them because they were trying to get me to do all these other things in Hollywood. And then these people would come up to me, and I'd always wear my necklace, my crucifix, but it was under my costume or my shirt. And one time this kid with a hammer of Thor and a pentagram, he was like a gaffer or whatever, one of the people on set, and he goes, take that off. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking it off. He's like, you have to take it off. It's not going to be allowed on film. I'm like, why? You're wearing that? He's like, I'm not on film. I'm like, okay, well then I'll just tuck it in. He goes, no, take it off. I'm like, I'm not taking it off, or I'm not going to do the job. You have to. You're in a contract. I'm like, I'm not taking this off. He goes, that offends us. I'm like, well, that offends me. He goes, this is the hammer of Thor, which is also on your Tesla cars. The Tesla logo. Yeah. The hammer of Thor, he told me, is going to one day crush Christianity. We're going to kill and persecute you one day. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not taking it off. And now, especially now that you said that. I was like, you're a Satan worshiper. He goes, take that off. And I'm like, no. He goes, so he comes back with a roll of duct tape and just spitefully duct tapes it down to my chest and then buttons my thing up real tight. I'm like, dude, you can't even see it. He goes, I just want to make sure it doesn't show up on film. And I'm like, woo, whatever. So after that, I'm like, you know what? F this. I'm not going to be told I can't be a Christian on a movie set. So I went and pissed him off even more because I always bring a bag with me with Bibles and my own stuff because there's a lot of downtime. And I pray my rosary. I always bring extra scapulars and rosaries and pamphlets. So while they were doing their movie stuff, I was in rooms full of extras. And I would tell them, I would just start talking to them about my stories about God and the medal. And people would be snatching them out of my hand. I would hand out hundreds of miraculous medals and rosaries and Bible pamphlets and stuff on the movie sets. And there was nothing they could do about it. And all the extras ate it up. Like, I could not believe it. I'm like, they tell you that society doesn't have a hunger for Christ, that they don't want to hear about it. But they really do. They really are thirsty for this truth. They just never get an opportunity to learn about it or hear from someone's firsthand experience. So once somebody like me is sitting at a table talking to, it starts out with, I'm just sitting there and somebody will go, what's that green thing you're wearing on your neck? Or what is that medal? And I start telling them the story about what the Blessed Mother did for my dad and me and blah, 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 and this and that. Oh, can I have one? I'm like, I actually have some with me, and they're already blessed. Here. And they grab them. Oh, so thank you so much, and they put them on. And then I'm like, I tell them about I start handing them out pamphlets. We teach them how to do the divine. Next thing you know, I have a whole crowd standing around me, and I'm handing out medals and rosaries and stuff. And I'm like, I always come with an arsenal full of these things wherever I go, so that I'm on movie sets, because I'm handing them out like hotcakes to people. And I'm like, it's kind of funny because society says that Jesus is frowned upon, is politically incorrect, and nobody wants to hear about it. That's not my experience. I go to the beach and I have my bag of stuff, and I always end up talking to people, and at first they say, no, I don't want that. But once I start talking to them about my stories, you know what? I think I do want one of those. Can I have one for my mother too? And it's like, I knew I could reason with you. So it sells itself. The truth is always the truth, and it will sell itself. I'm just the messenger. So it is scary and dangerous. Sometimes Muslims have threatened to kill me and stuff. I've had to run for my life a couple times in New York, but it's worth it. And, God protects me, and the point is, I need to preach Jesus. I need to do my job for Him. And the day I don't anymore is probably going to be the day I'm dead. So, because what good is God? What use am I going to be for the Lord anymore? I promised Him I would do this, come hell or high water, come death. And so, all I know is I'm realizing tonight, more and more, by the way people are treating me on Facebook, by the way, just the weird things. Like, I never really have much time to sit back and think about all these things that have happened over the years and connect the dots. But now at 44, I have a whole picture now. It's almost like pieces of the puzzle, and it's almost complete now. And I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, something's very unique about me. And I'm not saying, something. I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm not normal. But I don't mean that in a crazy way. I know people are going to try to say that, and I don't care. People think I'm crazy for being a Christian at all, or believing in this stuff at all. Seeing is believing. If you have furniture thrown across the room at you, you're going to believe in poltergeists. You're going to believe in stuff. Maybe you didn't believe until before it happened, but when you see it happen and it happens to you, suddenly you're going to believe. And it was because of those things that made me always run to Jesus, even as a young child, because I was always scared, always being tormented by things. And I knew the only thing that ever helped me, made it go away, was crying out the name Jesus. And whenever I'd say, Jesus, help me, Jesus, it would go away. It would stop. The dark shadows would disappear, the ghosts would go away, the furniture would stop moving, the cold, you could see your breath in the air would go away, all this stuff. So, as I have been walking with God more and more, there's been a lot of times where I've been feeling like He's abandoned me or whatever. But I hear that those are the times He's never been closer. So, this is real, folks, and I'm just one person with crazy, amazing stories that most people are not going to believe, which is why I don't really tell them most of the time. Because I'm sick and tired of people thinking I'm just making stuff up for attention. What attention? I only have 500 Facebook friends, most of which apparently don't even watch my stuff, or I can't even contact them. I have no social life. My family disowned me. They know all about this, but they think I'm weird and they want me out of the picture because of this stuff. They blamed me for the hauntings in the house. I don't know if it's all my fault. I think the house was just haunted before I got there. I just whatever. I'm so tired of being blamed for everything. It's not my fault. And even if these things are after me, I've even lost relationships because of crazy stuff that the people I dated at the time got tired of having to deal with. Like literally every time I'm over your house, freaking lights are turning on and off, radio's turning on, the TV's changing, furniture's moving. There's something wrong with you, Steve. And I'm like, maybe it's you. Because it wasn't happening until you were here, and you do drugs and you drink too much, honestly, and you're maybe that your demons are rattling things because I'm trying to pursue the Lord and you're not. So maybe you gotta go. Because in fact, it works both ways, honey. I'm fine until you started coming into the picture, and then all of a sudden all the attacks started happening again. When you left, no problem. So I can't date people. Because almost every time I've dated someone, this stuff happens. Maybe the Lord doesn't want me dating. Maybe He literally just wants me to be a priest or wants me to be set aside for Himself. He doesn't want anything to come in between the mission. I don't know. Because I've never been able to have a successful relationship without serious problems. Like, you date someone, you think they're nice, and then they're cheating on you. They become a narcissist. They're verbally abusive. I've been pushed out windows, knocked down stairs. I'm a guy. All kinds of bad. It's like, wait a minute, this is not the person you were when I started dating you. What is happening here? And they don't want to go to church. And when you try to get them to go to church, when they actually say, okay, I'll go to church with you, that's when the poltergeist activity starts. And it's like, somebody doesn't want you going to church with me. So I don't know if God's saying, no, I don't want that person in church. I don't think He would do that. Or the devil saying, no, you're not taking another one from me, Steve. I don't know. I don't know. But I've never been able to successfully get anyone I've dated to church. Close. But they've never actually gone. One time, I think. And then we broke up right after that. So, I don't know. It's just, people have an aversion. So that means that these people are sent by the devil to throw me off track. Because they're obviously not good women of God, they're not good people. Especially if they don't want to read, like this last one, I won't mention her name again, for her sake. Acts like she's all Catholic, this and that, telling me I'm not Catholic enough for her. But every time I pull the Bible out, she gets upset and just, I don't want to hear it, and won't even read the Bible with me. I try to pray the rosary with her, and she's just not even paying attention. She stopped. She's ignoring it. I realize she's not even following along. And it's just like, you said you're such an uber Catholic, then why do you have an aversion to all things Christian? Why do you sit in the back of the church all the time and then run out right before, as soon as the mass over, you run out and change your clothes and run out the door? Why do you not sit with me? Why do you, just strange things. Listen, we're in the end times. And my page on Facebook is meant to prove that. And not just by my videos and my testimony, which should be enough, but I put a lot of other famous preachers on there as well. Protestant and Catholic and Orthodox. Christians are Christians. And I put them out there so that if you don't want to hear it from me, maybe you don't believe me, then maybe you'll believe Bishop Mari Emanuel. Or maybe you'll believe this guy. Or maybe you'll believe Vlad, whatever. But it seems like a lot of people don't want to hear any of us. They just don't. Oh, you're a Christian. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Well, I'll tell you, your life is so empty without Christ. You don't realize that until you start walking with Him. Literally, I was very busy making movies and theater productions and doing modeling and, busy social life and sleeping around and partying. And I thought I had the life in my teens and 20s. Then I find Jesus, and all that had to stop and was taken away. But I never felt like I lost anything. In fact, I realized that when I had Jesus, the blinders were taken off and I could see even more than I could before. I knew and understood much more than I did before. The inner workings and the behind the scenes of everything. It's like you're given supernatural insight and wisdom that you don't have as a human without God. You just couldn't know these things. You're given a knowing, a discernment. You get dreams and visions. You get supernatural experiences. I've had encounters with angels, and I know they're angels because I'll be in an empty room or, somewhere, and there's no other people around. And then all of a sudden, or a parking lot, nobody else around, or a cemetery, no one else around. And then all of a sudden, boom, somebody materializes. And it's like, okay, are you a ghost? No, I can touch you. I mean, I don't know if ghosts can materialize, but you weren't here a second ago. I would have heard you and seen you coming. And then they disappear just like that. After telling you things that nobody could know but God and you. Like, these are matters of the heart. These are things that you're thinking about and planning, or your desire, whatever. The devil doesn't know your heart and thoughts. He can only go by your habits, what you're saying, what you see, what you do. He's not omnipotent like God. So if you don't let him know what you're up to by saying it, and that's why you should never divulge your plans all the time to people outwardly. When you pray in your heart and your mind. Don't always pray audibly. The only time you pray audibly is to get the devil out. Like when you pray Jesus Christ, they hate that name, they flee. Or Mary, they hate that name, they flee. Or when you're praying a rosary, they hate it. When you're honoring God, you're singing to him, worshiping him, saying the Our Father. The demons flee, they can't stand it. Because you're praising and worshiping and acknowledging God. But when you want to have a heart-to-heart, a private conversation with God about things you want, things you need, things you're concerned about, you shouldn't talk audibly. You need to get in your room, get on your knees, and be quiet. And talk to God in your mind, in your heart. He hears you. And that's the hard part. People don't believe that God can hear them if they don't speak. He's God. He's living on the inside of you. He's God. Of course he can hear you. He knows the number of hairs on your head and cells in your body, grains of sand in the earth. Come on. He hears you. The devil's not God, so he can't. So you want to be careful, because if you put everything out there, oh Lord, I need this, and I need a bag of Tic Tacs, and I want a Ferrari, and don't pray to God like that. I'm just saying, watch how fast the devil says, now I know, what he wants, what he's planning, what he needs. Oh, I can tempt him with that. And he'll think it came from God. And then he'll find out that his life just turned into a disaster because it didn't come. Not all that glistens is gold. Not every prayer that gets answered literally is coming from God all the time. So you got to be careful. You need to understand spiritual warfare. Man, I can't put 44 years of godly insight on camera. I can't jam it into other people's heads. I wish I could. I can't even get into everything I know. It took a lifetime to learn. And God can download a lifetime of information in a second. You can go to school for 12 years and not learn as much as God could put in your head in 1 second. So you're really God's the answer for everything, and you want to be connected to him. You want to go to him for every question and answer. You want to run everything by him. You don't want to do anything without his permission, because he's got to be there to protect you and guide you, and you don't want the enemy, who's also always around listening and watching and trying to throw you off course. If he knows that God wants you to join a convent, next thing you know, the enemy's going to offer you $1 million and have you have a job with the, FBI. He'll do something and you'll be like, oh, maybe that's what God wants. Well, so then you get off course. Look, he needs to understand this. God is only concerned about you becoming holy, a saint, and getting to heaven. That's it. Everything else is icing on the cake. If it's not going to lead you to holiness, godliness, heaven, a radically different life than the rest of the world, then you know it's of the devil and of the world. Like, God can give you a job and put you anywhere, but you got to be careful. Not all that comes to you comes from him. The devil runs everything down here and can offer you anything. He tried to do it to Jesus. He said, just bow down to me once, and I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world. Now, he's a liar anyway, so he probably wouldn't do that anyway. But I used to think, I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling God, the Son of God, who is God, you're telling Jesus, you're going to give him the world. Jesus created the world himself. He owns it, not you. How can he created you? How can you give him something that belongs to him already? But then I realized later on, Jesus gave the world to Adam and Eve. He gave them dominion over this world. And they were ruling this world. It was Adam and Eve and God. They were walking together. They were at one with God. It was heaven on earth. When Adam and Eve messed up, because the devil tricked them, the devil stole dominion from Adam, and he got it himself. Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden. Satan took over. He now has possession. He's the prince of the air and the god of this world. Until Jesus comes back and puts him in hell. But God's like, okay, Adam and Eve messed up. This is the consequence. But I got a plan B. I'll let the devil do the dirty work. I'll keep things going. I'll let humans grow and prosper down here, but I'll let the devil be the overseer of it. And if they get out of line, they fall into his hands and they learn a harsh lesson. If they keep getting out of line, they belong to him. No loss to me. They rebelled against me. They're not faithful to me. I don't need them then. They're bad. They're evil. They belong to him. They'll go to hell with him. But at any point, they can always come back to me and I'll take them back. They need to know that. But they're going to have to do it my way, not the devil's way. But it's not so easy when you're living in the world and the devil, you're so used to doing things the way that society tells you to do it. It's ingrained in you. You're used to it. And the devil will not let you go easily. When you start trying to run to Jesus, all of a sudden, the temptations start coming. And, oh, wait a minute, don't go. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. No. And then the threats and the death threats and the attempts on your life. And then the all-out attacks. He don't even hide himself anymore. It's like, bam, you're not going anywhere. You belong to me. No, Jesus says that I cried out to him. I gave him my life. I'm his now. He died for me, so I can be his. I don't belong to you. And, well, I will get you back. No, you won't. You watch. I'm not going to stop trying to get you back until the day you die. And on your deathbed is the biggest battle of your life. You wait. I might not get you to that last second, but I'm getting you. So you must hold on to Jesus' hand. If you let go, you're in the devil's territory again. You've got to. You're in his world right now until Jesus comes back and takes it back. But he's letting the devil run things for a reason. Do the dirty work, Satan. Do me a favor. Weed out the wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goats. I'm not worried. Because those who are meant to be in heaven, who are faithful to me, they'll find me. I won't lose them. They know my voice. My sheep hear my voice and they know me, and they won't listen to you. But you can have all the goats and the tares, the weeds. I just want the wheat and the sheep. You can have the weeds and the goats. And so the devil basically is the one to tempt and try and test us to see which side we're really on. Are we on Christ's side? Are we straddling the fence? Are we on his side? And it's just a constant game, a constant war, a constant game of chess for our souls. Tug of war. Who's going to win us over, Jesus or the devil? But Jesus is like, listen, I already did everything on the cross. I'm done. They know what I have to offer. If they're wise, they'll come and join me. I died for them. I love them. I protect them. I gave them creation. I created them. I have a mansion in heaven waiting for them. I have a good eternity plan for them. With me, they've got it good. But I'm going to let the devil try to persuade them like a car salesman. And hopefully, they're smart enough to follow me and not him. But the devil will, and guess what? If the devil does get them, then they weren't good enough for heaven. They were never trustworthy enough. They were never really mine. Did you ever hear that? Oh, thank you, Lord. Okay, I'm hearing something. If you love someone, let them go. If they come back, they're yours forever. So Jesus puts us down here He loves us. He died for us. He lets us go into the world. If we find our way back to Him, we belong to Him. We were always His. He's not worried about losing us. He knows that He ain't going to lose the good ones. But if we don't come back, then we were never really His. We don't deserve Him. We belong with the devil. So I've never thought of that before. I've heard that before, but I've never had that applied to what's going on down here. Like, that's really amazing. See, I know that comes from the Holy Spirit, because I didn't think of that myself. It's like sometimes I'm making these videos and there's a thought that comes, but it's not coming from me. Like, it's like it's an inaudible voice or words that are, thank you, telepathic, that's what I'm hearing, telepathically put in your head. It's not coming from you or your own brain. It's an outside source, or a source from within speaking, giving you the knowledge. So, yeah, it doesn't mean that the devil can't be whispering in my ear something, but you got to test the spirits. The devil is not going to tell me to tell you to avoid him and run to Jesus. The devil's not going to tell me, oh, preach the Bible. Make sure that they know the Bible. Make sure they stop sinning. Make sure that you warn them about hell. Make sure you tell them how I operate. He wouldn't. The Lord would be the one telling me, tell them, Stephen, for their own good, that they must understand what's going on. They need to understand spiritual warfare. They need to understand what the devil tried to do to me, he's going to do to you. They need to understand that it's not over on their deathbed. That's when the final battle for the soul really rages on. Like fireworks. You watch fireworks for an hour on the 4th of July, and then all of a sudden it's over, and boom, the grand finale. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, wow, awesome. The best part of the show is the last few minutes. That's the biggest part of the battle. When it's almost won. When it's almost lost. When the devil almost lost you. That's when he pulls out the big guns, and you're either laying there in a coma, or dying of cancer, or in a car accident, or whatever, and there's a big battle going on, and he's trying really hard to get you to reject Christ at the last second. So, we've got to be on guard for this. And I'm telling you, people, death is only the beginning. For someone who has been out of their body a couple times, and I don't care if you don't believe me. I know I've been there. I'm telling you, you'll see one day, and you're going to understand that the only thing you need to fear is the demons and going to hell. But if you are, if Jesus is standing there and he's saying, well done, you're good. Like you'll know when you're there. You'll know, because it's fast. Like, you're either going to be standing before the gold throne or the white throne. The gold throne is the reward. You're going to heaven. The white throne is the throne of judgment. You're going to hell. And so, whatever. I mean, it's different experience for each person, but I'm telling you, it's real, and you'll never feel more alive, mentally awake, alive, than you ever did until you're out of this body. Your real life begins as soon as you leave this body, is when you really come to life, when you really hear better than you've ever heard, see better than you've ever seen, smell like better than you've ever smelled. Your senses are heightened like 1,000 times. You are more awake, alert, alive than you ever feel in this body. This body is like walking around with a wet sweater on, being soaking wet, a wet snowsuit, soaking wet, weighing you down. You just want to take it off, and you feel like, the weight has just been taken off. Well, that's when this skin suit that we wear on our soul, when we're out of this skin suit, you're so light. Like, you just feel one with everything. Like, you're invisible, but you're still there. Like, I can't explain it. You're invisible. You won't see your own hand or anything, because you're invisible, but you're still very much yourself. You still feel everything, smell everything, see everything. Your thoughts are the same. You are still very much you. You die in the state you're in. So if you die in a state of grace and as a good person, a heaven-bound person, you got nothing to worry about. But if you die in a state of sin, you're stuck like that forever. It doesn't matter if you were a saint your whole life and then 5 minutes before you died, you committed a bad sin and then you died. You're going to be judged on that last thing you did. Like that one thing ruined the whole thing. It's like you have a Ferrari and it's just brand new and then all of a sudden somebody smashes the windshield out. It's now really damaged. Like it's not the same. The value just decreased. So yeah, I don't know. What's the point of having all this knowledge and information and trying to share it with a world that doesn't want to hear it and that won't believe it? They refuse to believe. So, I don't know. But for those who will hear, yeah, you're right. Thank you, Lord. The Bible says, let those who have ears to hear, hear. When Jesus spoke, they said, why do you always speak in parables and riddles and stuff? Why don't you just say it out and for everybody to understand? Because it doesn't matter what I say or how I say it. My sheep hear my voice, they understand. This isn't for everybody. This is for those who are being saved, for those who want to be saved, the ones who I know are going to heaven. Not for the wicked, not for those who are going to reject it anyway and not believe it or mock it or laugh at it or trample on it. That's why the Bible says, don't throw your precious pearls to swine. God sees people who are never going to go to heaven, never going to believe in Jesus, as pigs, dirty, filthy pigs that wallow in the mud and muck and eat dead things and poop and everything. They're filthy animals. Smart, and their flesh is as close to human flesh as possible, but they are filthy. And their meat is filthy because they eat garbage. And so whatever you are, what you eat, you are what you put in. And they're eating things that are filthy, dirty, germy, full of worms and bacteria. And that gets into the pork, into the meat, into the body. The pig is defiled inside and out. And so it's not healthy to eat pork because you're eating defiled, wormy, nasty, dirty meat. If a pig was fed garbage its whole life and then it's slaughtered and now you're eating the bacon, you're eating bacon that was raised off of refuge, poop, dead things, trash. Then there's organic pigs that are grown in a natural farm and they're raised on good grain and fruits and vegetables and grass. There's a difference between a grass-fed cow and a GMO cow. You want the grass-fed cow. You don't want a cow that's been eating garbage and pesticides and chemicals because it's going to get into the steak and then you're going to eat bad meat and get sick. But if you eat a healthy cow who's just grazing on natural grass and healthy stuff, then the meat's going to be healthy and you're going to be healthy for eating it. So that's why God says, He doesn't like people eating pork really. I mean, you could, but do it at your own risk because you're eating disgusting stuff. Well, anyway, pigs are filthy in God's eyes. And so he says, when I preach like this, he says, don't wait. The kingdom of heaven is like a pearl of great worth. This knowledge that I have of the Bible, of God, of reality, is rare and is given only by God, the understanding. And you only know it when you follow Christ. And it's like a very valuable pearl of great worth. Or the most expensive diamond there is. So you don't want to waste it. You wouldn't put your pearls, okay, if you spend $10,000 on a Tahitian pearl necklace, you're not going to give it to pigs. You're not going to throw it into a pig pen unless they're just going to trample upon them and then turn and attack you. You're not going to put it around a pig's neck and let a pig wear a $10,000 pearl necklace. It's too valuable. And what's the point? The pig doesn't appreciate it. You are going to want to wear it on special occasions or, give it to someone you really love who's really going to enjoy it and appreciate it. You don't want it to lose its value. So basically, these pearls of wisdom I'm giving you, if you're not a good person, a Christian, it's falling on deaf ears. It's like throwing this wisdom, throwing these pearls to pigs. It's useless to you. A pig's not gonna appreciate this. It's just gonna trample on it and then get offended and turn and attack me and mock me. And that's what happens. Most people don't want to hear Christianity. They don't value it as what it really is, a precious pearl of great worth dying for. This knowledge is worth dying for. What wouldn't you do? What wouldn't you give? What price wouldn't you pay to avoid an eternity in hell? So this is priceless. And when people watch my videos who don't believe me and don't like Jesus, and they mock me and they scoff and they make fun. Oh, you believe in a man in the sky? Yeah, I've seen that man in the sky. You moron. He's really there and he does live in the sky. So, you know what? You'll find out. But they think you're stupid. Oh, you believe these fairy tales. But I'm sitting there looking at him like, you pig. You stupid swine. Good for nothing but filth and bacon. You're the one, you shouldn't be laughing at me. Because I'm the one that knows the truth and you're an idiot. You're the one that's deceived. You're the one that's believing a fairy tale, not me. You're the one that's on the way to hell. Because Jesus said if you deny the Son of Man, if you don't believe in him, you're already condemned. Everybody's condemned until they believe in Christ and give them his life. By default. Oh, I don't believe in hell. It's not going to stop you from going there. Well, I don't believe in the devil. He believes in you. In fact, he's got your name on a list down there. I don't believe in God. Well, that's great, but he still exists, and there's nothing you can do about it. So people, listen, do what you want with this knowledge, but I spend hours and hours of my life, for most of my life now, even before the internet, teaching and preaching and learning and telling people as I learn, as I go, my whole life. Some people are saying you're wasting your short life. I know that I'm not. Otherwise, why would I do this? Think about it. I'm not stupid. I know life is short. I've had major opportunities in life to be rich and famous and enjoy my life. I can marry who I want, sleep with who I want, do what I want, and I used to. But then I found out the truth, and I stopped all that. It's like, I used to smoke cigarettes, but it started ruining my lungs and it causes cancer. So you're an idiot to keep doing something if you know it's going to kill you. Once I found out it was making me sick and it could kill me, I stopped. It wasn't easy. I was addicted. But I stopped because I'm like, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get emphysema and cancer. I'm going to die. So I'm going to stop doing it. Why would you go into a doctor's office and be like, doctor, it hurts when I do this? He's going to say, well, then stop doing that, you friggin' moron. End of problem. You're causing your own trouble. So people, come on. Stop being stupid and naive. Don't look at someone like me like that kid is totally out there crazy. And what a loser. Like, why doesn't he just go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning? Why is he up all night making videos about Jesus? Like, he's got no life. You're wrong. I have a life. It's an eternal life. I gave my life to Christ so he can speak to you through me. He's using my life right now. I have a life in Christ. You don't have an eternal life. You have hell waiting for you. You don't have Jesus. You have a worldly life that's good for nothing in reality. You're only living for yourself to gratify the flesh, to have fun, to drink, to do drugs, to have sex, to eat, to enjoy life. You're just like, that's like having a dog. Why do you have a pet? Why do you have a fish in an aquarium? To entertain you. That's it. Their only purpose now. You took them out of their natural environment, so they're your slave, and all they do is just live there to serve you and make you happy. They're there for you. Like, they don't have a choice. They depend on you. Their life is just, they don't have a life. They're just a fish in a fishbowl for you to gawk at And that's it. And do with what you want. You want to kill it, they don't have a choice. You want to release it in, you want to throw it in a lake, they don't have a choice. Same thing with a dog. A dog is only there to keep you company, guard your house, be a dog. Like maybe cuddle with, whatever we have a dog for. But that's it. That is their life. That's their function. That's what they were designed and bred for. And you and I were bred for God. And if you don't do what you were bred to do, you're not being really human. You're living half-lived life, like a half-lived life. You're not living life to the fullest. And you're not even going to know what you're missing out on. See, here's what the devil does. I got to end this video. The devil will make people believe that Christians have no life, no fun. There's nothing appealing about it. Everybody hates them. They're persecuted. They're going to be rounded up and martyred one day. They're wasting their life. They never get to go out and have fun or do anything. Just live your life. Just do whatever you want. If it feels good, do it. Who cares? Christians won't let you do that. They're boring. That's what it looks like. But what you don't realize is, until you become a Christian, and you're not going to become one because you don't know this. But if you knew this, you would be a Christian. Soon as you transition over and become a Christian, a real Christian, you don't care about all that worldly stuff anymore. Like things like cigarettes and alcohol and sex and movies and entertainment and all that stuff that you used to live for, going out to mosh pits and parties and concerts and raves and what you don't even care about. You remember it, but you don't look at it with envy like, oh, the good old days, I miss that. Oh, I wish I can go back and do. You actually are ashamed of it. Like, how stupid was I? Like for example, when I was in 6th grade and we used to have those stupid bowl cut haircuts. You look like a penis head. You look like a mushroom. You just shaved it all around and left the hair long. It was the ugliest, stupidest thing. Skateboard haircut, whatever they called it. I wish I never did that. I actually walked around as a kid thinking I was cool. Everybody's doing it. We all look like a bunch of penis heads. Like a bunch of mushroom heads. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so ugly and stupid and I'm embarrassed and I wish I never did that and I don't want anybody to see. Good night, Steve. I'm at work till 7:30. Yeah, I could have gone to bed when I got home, but I don't know. I'm making this video, and it was not supposed to be a long video. I'm sorry. My video was supposed to be to tell people... Let me just finish before you get off. I want to end the video now. If you're on my Facebook page and you don't really like me, you don't really plan on being my friend, you don't listen or believe anything I tell you, you won't let me message you, you won't let me contact you, please get off my page. Like, not you, Amy, but other people. Please get off my page, because what business do we have together? We're not friends. You're my enemy. You don't love God, you're his enemy. You're of the devil. And I'm of the light, you're of the darkness. We don't belong together. You're not interested in anything I have to say. You don't watch my videos. You're not part of my life. You don't go to church. You don't believe or agree with anything I say. You don't want to know what I have to tell you. Then why are you on my Facebook page? My Facebook page is for real friends and family who do love me and accept me as I am, and hopefully will learn from me and maybe convert and give their life to Christ. But either way, if you're good to me, I'm good to you. You love me as I am, fine, that's good enough. You're welcome here. I hope, though, that this page and all these videos and all this time that I'm spending, I'll never get back. I'm doing it for love of God and for love of neighbor, so I can save you all from hell, along with myself. It's very important. And so, please don't let it be in vain. But it is most of the time. But you know what? On Judgment Day, at least God's going to say, well done, Steve. You did all you could with what little you had. You can bring a horse to water, you can't make it drink. You did the best you could. I did the best I could. They rejected me too. Those who want to go to heaven, who want to, they're going to, don't worry about it. Your videos will reach who they need to reach, and let the people who want to mock them and not watch them, let them go. But at least it's there for them. So that on Judgment Day, God's going to say, listen, you had people like Steve and videos, and you had the Bible, and you had churches. There was plenty of opportunities in your life for you to come to know, love, and serve God. You chose not to. And so now you're going to deal with the eternal consequences. That's what God's going to say. I didn't force you to follow me, but there are consequences. And following me saves you from hell. But if you want to go to hell, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not interested in prisoners. I want children. I want friends, family, employees. I don't want prisoners. I don't want slaves. The devil wants slaves, not me. So choose. Choose God or Satan, life or death. That's it. But I don't want people on my page who are fake. If I can't reach out to you to ask you a question, to tell you that somebody we know died, to get information about somebody we know who died, I'm not here to proselytize you. But I'm really upset because I've been trying to reach some of you, people from high school, to invite you to certain functions, to my house, to the beach. I've been wanting to tell you stuff or ask you about stuff, or hire you to do some stuff for Donna around the house, like, carpentry work, things that we need. And some of you are contractors, right? I need a haircut sometimes. Some of you are hair cutters or hair salon owners. You're only hurting yourself. You're hurting me too, but you're hurting yourself too, because you're missing out on a good person in your life, a good person who cares about you, who's a good godly guy, a friend, and you're losing money. You're losing business contacts, because if you're good to me, I'm going to spread the word and say, hey, you got to hire this person, or you got to go to this restaurant, or you got to go to that hair salon. That's what I do for people, and I'm also a very good tipper. So it's your loss, not mine. But I'm just getting really upset because for the past month, I've been going through all my friends and trying to reach out to a lot of you. And no, not about Jesus. And even though you should be happy if I do that for you. But no, I'm not trying to proselytize you. I'm just trying to ask you questions, hang out with you, whatever, reconnect, hire you, whatever. And every single time, like, I can give names, but I'm not going to, because that's not a Christian thing to do. But I want to mention names on here. But these people are not even going to watch the video anyway, so what difference does it make? But the point is, a lot. 9 out of 10 of the people on my page have blocked me from being able to send them Facebook messages. And when I called them out on it, they unblocked me. And now my messages went through and I was able to but I had to literally call them out on it. And most of them just ignored me or unfriended me after I called them out on it. Some of them actually were at least, church people, and I saw them at church and said, hey, why? Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't just you. I blocked a lot of people. That doesn't matter. The fact that I'm on the list of people that should be blocked says a lot. Really hurts. How would you like it? What is so bad about me and what I'm saying and posting that you gotta block me from being able to privately message you? Does that make any sense? If I privately send you a Facebook message, it's only between you and I. It's not public knowledge. So why should you be embarrassed or ashamed? You could just dismiss it, ignore it, or tell me, don't message me, or whatever. You don't need to block me so that I don't even have the ability to reach out to you. Okay? Some of you block me from commenting on your page. Why? Why would you purposely select that Steve Dinello can't comment on your page? You don't want anyone to know that you're associated with me? Are you afraid of what I'm going to put on your page? I don't put things on people's pages. So you don't have to worry about that. People put shit on my page. I don't put things on theirs. And most of the time I don't allow it to stay on my page. I don't approve it because it's not Christian material. I don't want it on my page. This is a ministry page. So you putting stuff that's bashing, I don't like President Biden, and some of the jokes and memes are funny and true, but I'm not putting it on my page because that's not something a preacher does. You don't bash your enemy and publicly ridicule and put memes of him falling down the stairs or pooping his diapers. That's just not something a Christian does. Yes, I see it. It's funny, but I'm not going to promote that on my ministry page. That's not appropriate for anyone to be doing. It's called slander, detractment. God's going to judge you for that. It's just, you wouldn't want it done if to your father or grandfather or, or to you. So you just don't, listen, what's the first commandment is love God with all your heart. What's the second commandment? Love others as you love yourself. Do unto others as you'd have done to yourself. So before you go and post memes about, I don't care if Biden's your enemy, I don't like him either. Or Pope Francis or anybody. Don't post stuff and circulate stuff on the internet that you would not want done to you. Because what if I posted a meme of you pooping your pants or making out with Obama or falling down the airplane stairs? Like, whether it's true or not, I don't think you'd appreciate it. So why are you doing it? Well, I don't like him. It doesn't matter. He's your enemy. You don't do it. Oh, but I'm a Christian. No, you're not. The Bible says you'll know a Christian by their fruit. I look at a lot of you people who claim to be Christians. I look at your Facebook page. You're not Christian. You're not Christian. The stuff you're posting, a Christian wouldn't do that because they fear God and they don't want to go to hell for a stupid meme. You see what I'm saying? Like, you better be careful what you're posting because God sees it and everything we do is recorded. And on Judgment Day, everything is read back to us and we're judged. So stop while you're already behind. People say stop while you're ahead. You're not ahead. You're behind. That's a stupid saying, stop while you're ahead. You're not ahead. You're so far behind, you're in trouble. You need to catch up. You need to stop. And I'm going to lose a lot of friends because I'm too strict. I'm not trying to be strict. I'm telling you how God sees things, not me. I'm not your judge. I can't send you to hell, but Jesus will. He loves you, but he will. And I have to warn all of us. God ain't messing around. So please be careful, because you're either doing good in this world for the Lord or you're doing bad for the devil. If it's sinful, you're working for Satan. You're promoting more evil, harmful things, filth. If you're working for Jesus, you're promoting nothing but good, truth, light, goodness, things that are going to build up, edify, rebuke, help people, keep people out of hell. So what are you doing? Are you straddling the fence? Oh, sometimes I like to post memes that are going to lead people to sin and hell, promote sin. Or am I going to, and then on Sunday I like to post about how much I love Jesus? Jesus is like, what are you doing? That's not, come on. There's no darkness in me or my children. So stop that. Stop straddling the fence. You're lukewarm, I'm going to throw you into hell. Spit you out. So please, people, understand that as a human being, your words have power. Your thoughts have power. You have power. You matter. You matter. You're created because you matter. Everything you do in life matters. It's either going to be good or evil. There's no in between. It's either going to help the kingdom of heaven or help the kingdom of hell. There's no in between. And a lot of us are, depending on our moods, working for both teams here. But Jesus is going to say, listen, thanks for the good you did, but I never knew you. But the devil's like, yeah, bravo, keep doing it, you moron. You're getting more and more souls to hell. Keep doing it. Good job. Or you're condemning yourself. So good job. I can't wait to have you down here to tear you to pieces. I'm just telling you the truth. I got to live by this too. It does scare me. It scares me so much, in fact, that I'm up all night. I haven't slept in 2 days now. I'm up all night filled with energy because I feel that these videos are I have to make them. I don't know why, but I have to. I don't plan it, but it's important. I need to hear it. I need to be reminded, but I need to share it with my loved ones. And if you're on my Facebook page, I love you. Like, I know it's not true, but I like to believe that, or it should be the fact that you're on my page because you love me too. Like, if you're on my page, you either like me as a friend or you love me. As a family member or a friend, whatever. Or a brother in Christ. I hope. but I don't know, because I'm looking at the 596 people that I have left from 5,000 down to 596, and 9 out of 10 of you blocked me from even being able to message you. So that shows me I don't matter to you. You're keeping it so I don't have your phone numbers. You don't come over my home. We don't hang out. We don't talk on the phone. You don't text me. You don't comment on my page. You probably don't watch my videos. And I can't even contact you now. So what is the point of having you on my Facebook page? I'm not going to promote your business. Is that why you're on there? So that, oh, well, I have a business. I like to promote my business on Facebook, so I'll stay on Steve's page because Steve has a lot of people that look at stuff. So that's not fair to me. I might as well unfriend your butt instead of helping you get promoted and promoting your business and your satanic, ungodly lifestyle and stupid Facebook pages. Listen, you're either Jesus' friend. A friend of Jesus is a friend of mine. But if you're not a friend of God, if you're an enemy of then you're an enemy of mine. You need to know that. Because when Jesus comes back, he's going to come back and cut your head off with a flaming sword and throw you into hell. So, I'm not playing around with you. Like, you don't have to love me or like me. You don't have to be my friend. That's fine. I love you. I want you saved. I will accept you as you are. But you're not reciprocating here. Like my friend Amy, who's been watching faithfully, she's an awesome soul. She, even if she doesn't agree with me, she still supports me. She cares about me. She watches my stuff. She don't have to. Most of y'all don't. So even if me and her don't agree or see eye to eye on stuff, she's still a good person to me. So I have no reason, she's not like a Satan worshiper. She's not an enemy. She's not against me. She's for me. And what did Jesus say? If they're not against us, they're with us. They're for us. So leave them alone. So she's not my enemy. She's my friend. And we go back to high school. So I appreciate that. And I treat people the way I want to be treated. I don't see a lot of you making videos all the time to help others or to help God. I do. Because I love God. Because I know he loves me and I know he's real. And I owe him my life. I owe him everything. He's done so many awesome things for me. Saved my life so many times. I love him. He's my father. And I love everybody because he loves everybody. But I can't stand, it really does hurt. It's messed up that I'm here I try to exist in this world to bring love and light to everyone I can. If I can help somebody in any way, make them smile, feed them, whatever, I like to do that. That's a Christian. That's just how I am. I have a heart like Christ. And I'm hated for it. Which makes no sense. You go hate people who hate others, who don't care about anybody but themselves. But don't hate God and me and his children who are only here to do nothing but serve and help and protect people. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like people hate the police. Why? If you're not doing something wrong, they're your friend. They're not your enemy. As long as you're not breaking the law, you don't need to worry about it. People don't want the police around unless they need them. Suddenly, somebody robbed me or broke into my house. I want the police to fix this. But otherwise, stay away from me, copper, pig. I don't want nothing to do with you. You fear them. But you don't need to fear them if you're not doing something messed up. And it's the same with God. You don't need to fear him if you're not doing something wrong. But you do need to fear him if you are messing up and breaking his law, just like the police. He's good. You need that. You want him on your side. And if you think you don't need to fear the devil, you're wrong. You guys are siding and playing with the devil, but he hates you. And he wants to kill you. And he wants you to burn in hell. You need to fear him. Because he ain't your friend. And he's made it so you don't even believe in him. He hides in the shadows, making you think that he doesn't even exist. And he's got you. And you wonder why so many things are going wrong in your life? Him. He's what's wrong with the world and society. He's the one that causes diseases and wars and poverty and hunger and illness and cancer. And it's not God. It's the devil and his angels, his demons. And, I don't believe in him. Well, where do you think this stuff's coming from? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Stop shooting the messenger. Don't hate me. You don't have a beef with me. I ain't doing nothing to you. I do nothing but give you love. I make these videos not to make you feel bad or condemned or to judge you. I make these videos because I care enough about you. Someone's got to care about you. You don't care about yourself. And God cares. So because He cares, sometimes there's people that I don't really like, honestly. And I'm like, Lord, I don't want to preach to that person. They're a jerk. They were nasty to me. They deserve to go to hell. Stephen, I love them. I created them, and I don't create junk. I want them saved. So do your job. For love of me, do it. Because they matter to me. All right, Lord. Because I love you, I'll reach out to that person. But they really are a jerk. Stephen, stop judging. You're right. It's not my place. But, but still, I'm human. We have our arguments. But the point is, if you love God, you're going to love His people. I don't want Him to have to have died on that cross and still lose most of the population to hell. And that's what's happening. He did everything He can on that cross so you won't have to be a victim of the devil. And you're just walking right into Satan's... It's like walking into a bear cave or a lion's den. Why would you do that? Knowingly. But that's what you're all doing. You're playing with fire. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of this back together and warn you and help you. There are other things I can do with my time. Yes, I can enjoy my life. But I don't want to go to hell. And I don't want you in hell. And I can't. I'm at a point in my life where I know this is true. And I gotta warn you. Because how can I possibly... I can't live my life and enjoy my life knowing that people I know are going to hell. Or that they don't know what they need to know. That they actually vote for Biden and Obama thinking that this is okay and good. They don't realize what they're doing. Maybe if they knew that they work for the devil, they wouldn't vote for him. I don't care if you don't like Trump. He's the only other card we have to play that's not on the devil's team. So you should vote for him because it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Alright, no problem, Amy. I will talk to you later. God bless. So people, I don't know. I make these videos for God, for you. I feel compelled to do it. I feel like I have to. I need to warn you. I need to do all that I can for God and for you because we're running out of time. I wish somebody had... Well, people did actually throughout my life tell me these things. So God did always... He kept sending people to me, and at first I rejected him, didn't want to hear it either. But eventually he got a hold of me, and now I'm glad he never gave up on me. And so I can't give up on all of you. But stop blocking me. Stop unfriending me. Just because I'm a Christian or a conspiracy theorist. Please, just stop. Because you're wrong. My family's wrong about me. I'm not the person I used to be. They don't truly know who I am in Christ. They don't know me. They never took the time to really get to know me or my thoughts or why I do what I do. They just wrote me off. And a lot of people do that. But, if I was like Taylor Swift or, some celebrity, everybody would love me. If I was good looking and rich and famous, everybody would love me. But because I'm not good looking and rich and I'm a Christian, nobody wants to deal with me. Nobody cares. It's so backwards. But whatever. I'm not surprised because God said this was going to happen. It's just really sad and pathetic. Jesus doesn't deserve that. He deserves your love and respect and your worship, and you're giving him nothing but a headache and rebellion and rejection and making him cry and making him so angry that he's going to send fire and brimstone upon this planet very soon. So anyway, this is a very long video again. It wasn't supposed to be at all. I just wanted to tell people that I really think you're a real jerk. Or what did I say? God forgive me, douchebag. If you're on my Facebook page, especially all these years, but you don't really like me or respect me, you don't want to be my friend, you hate my God and my faith and my religion, you're not my supporter, you're an enemy, like what's the point of being on my page? It's a really low blow to somebody when they go to reach out to you and try to contact you and they find out that you unfriended them. Or you go to contact them and you realize they blocked you from Facebook messaging. So you can't even send them a private message. So there's no way for me to really contact you unless I put it public on your page. And some of you have even made it so I can't publicly post on your page. A lot of you also do these stupid things where you make it so that your friends nobody can see who you're friends with. Look, if you've got to be that private on Facebook, what are you hiding? Obviously, you're not a good person. You're hiding something. Or you're ashamed or embarrassed of something. Or you're scared of something. Christians like me, we don't hide anything. There's nothing to hide. Who are we going to hide from? God? God sees and knows everything. I don't need to hide anything. He knows who I associate with. So does the government. He knows who I'm friends with. So does the government. He knows my faith and religion, my heart, my thoughts, my words. So does everybody on Facebook and the government. I'm not hiding anything from God or the devil. I'm not hiding anything from the CIA or the government. I could care less. Because I know the truth. I'm a Christian and I know Jesus is real. So that's all that matters. I don't care what the government says or thinks or who believes me and who doesn't. I know that I know for a fact. And so that's why I do this. And you're not going to ever change my mind because I know the truth. It's cat's out of the bag. Why would I go back to being deceived and living a lie, living ignorant when I know the truth? That's stupid. Why would I go and deny what I know? Who does that? I'm sure some idiot does, but not me. So I really wish more of you would watch these videos in their entirety. I wish you would learn. I wish you would believe. I wish you would give your life to Jesus Christ before it's too late. I wish you would treat me better, especially God. I'm nobody. I don't matter, but God does. But still, I wish that the people on my Facebook page were authentic friends, that you were on my page because you actually cared, that you follow me, that you learn good things from me. I hope that I'm a positive influence in your life. But every time I go to pick up the phone or message someone on Facebook to reach out to someone for a friendship, for a favor, for help, or to whatever, just to talk, I'm blocked. Nobody's there. I'm cut off. So it's like before. I'm glad my other phone broke because I had like over 1,000 contacts in my phone last year before it broke. I lost all my contacts, and it's a major inconvenience. But I also realized 90% of those contacts are useless to me now. I haven't seen or heard from or talked to those people in many years. A lot of them are dead, or no longer my friend, or they've changed their numbers, or they just don't want anything to do with me. A lot of times I've called those numbers to reach out and say, hey, it's been years, I haven't talked to you in a while. It's Steve, what's going on? Nobody answered. I left messages and text messages, no response. So obviously you don't want me to think that we're friends. You don't want anything to do with me. You're ghosting me. You're avoiding me. You're blocking me. Fine. Well, now I don't have any of your numbers anymore. So You don't have to worry about me texting or calling you for anything anymore. And since you've all blocked me from being able to contact you on Facebook, you don't have to worry about me reaching out to you ever again, or proselytizing you with religious content or conspiracy theory, political stuff. But shame on you for treating a good man, a fellow human, and a Christian so poorly. Shame on you, because I did nothing to deserve it. I treat you all well. You're on my Facebook page, which means I care about you. I value you and your friendship. I want you saved. I offer you my heart, my friendship, my loyalty, my trust, honesty, integrity. And what do I get in return? The exact opposite. And that's not right, because I did nothing to deserve it. I don't treat other people that way. I don't deserve to be treated that way myself. Nor should I have to expect to be treated that way. But that's how it is for most of you. So, maybe what I need to do is, and you probably won't even know I'm going or care, maybe I should go through and unfriend, and maybe even block, but at least unfriend every one of you who has blocked me from contacting you on Facebook Messenger. Give you the hint now that, okay, if that's how you want to be, then we don't need to be on each other's Facebook page anymore. Get out of my life. You don't deserve to be on my Facebook page and to be in the know of what's going on in my life if I can't be part of your life, if we're not friends. You don't deserve to be able to know about me and contact me if I can't know about you or contact you. You don't deserve to have me like and promote your hair salon or your carpentry business or whatever, your restaurant, on my Facebook page with my followers when you don't care a thing about me and would never promote me or even talk to me. I'm answering my own questions. I think it's time for me to clean house and get rid of most of you. I'll probably be left with only a handful of people. But what's the point? Like, the only reason I don't is because I'm hoping that these videos about Jesus are reaching you. Like, I'm hoping that 596 Facebook friends are still on my page because maybe you are watching my videos at some point. Maybe you are reading my posts. I don't think so. You're probably blocking it. You're not receiving my notifications or updates on me. You're not following me. You blocked me from being able to contact you. So, but I still try to hope for the best. I know this much. If I totally cut you off as you deserve, as you've done to me for no reason, then I'm not going to be able to have a chance of reaching you at all. And your soul is too important not to fight for. The knowledge that I give in these videos about God is too important not to share with as many as possible. And if I keep deleting or blocking or unfriending people, who am I going to make these videos for? But at the same time, it's occurred to me that I guarantee that most of you on my Facebook page are not even benefiting from being on my Facebook page. You're not reading my posts. You're not watching my videos. You don't agree with me. We're not of like mind and heart. You don't have the same religious beliefs as me. You don't believe in Christ. You don't have God. You don't live a godly life. So you're useless to me and to God, and there's no need for you to be on my page then. If I don't hang out with you, if you don't call to see how I'm doing, if we don't talk, we never hang out, we don't go to church together, I can't call you or contact you, then what is the point of you being on my Facebook page or in my life? You're already gone. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I think I'm just going to unfriend a lot of you. I'm going to find out who, has blocked me in any way, and I'm going to block you. And you're going to say, oh, it's no loss. Maybe it's not. It really is. You don't realize how much of a loss I am to you. It's not because of me. It's because of who I work for and what I represent. What you can learn from me. But you're no loss to me because you're not a Christian. So that means you're an enemy of God and to me. You do nothing for me. You don't call me. You don't hang out with me. You don't care about me. You don't watch my videos. You don't support me. You don't reach out. You don't text me or nothing. You're not friends with me. You just know me. We're just acquaintances. You're just on my Facebook page. Like, that's just... It's stupid. It really is. So, my Facebook page is for people who care about me, who are truly my friends, who are truly my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, who agree with me, love me, respect me, who are friends with me, who care about me, and vice versa. As for the rest of you, I'm tired of throwing my pearls to swine, as the Bible says. So I'm through with you. Either unblock me from Messenger, reach out to me, show me that you want to be in my life and on my page. Show me that I'm of some kind of value to you, that my ministry is of some kind of value and interest to you. Or block me or unfriend me, please. I'm begging you. If you're not my friend, if you don't care about me, if you don't want to hang out with me or go to church with me, pray with me, help me, vice versa, have anything to do with me, then get off my Facebook page. Because I don't know you and you don't know me. And we have nothing in common, and there's no point of even being connected. But I do leave you with this. Jesus Christ is Lord, and He will return. Maybe not in this lifetime, but He's going to come back. But you will see Him as soon as you die. You will be judged, and you're going to go to either heaven or hell. And most people go to hell. That's a reality. Because most people do not give their lives to Christ and live their life the way Christ commanded. You can't go to heaven if you disobey God and break His laws intentionally, and you don't obey Him. Like, you don't belong there. You belong where rebels and enemies of God belong. Hell. And that's where you're going to go. And it doesn't have to be that way. So that's why I make these videos, to remind you. You're running out of time to switch teams, to make Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior, and to start living a holy life so you can go to heaven. Because things are about to get a lot worse on planet Earth. Even for us Christians. Many of us are going to die. Many of you are going to die. Even unchristians. But the difference is, we have a chance of going to heaven as Christians. We have something to look forward to. If you don't know Christ, the only thing you have to look forward to is Satan and hell. That's the reality. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to hear it. I don't care. That's what Jesus Christ taught. That's the truth. That's what Jesus Christ, God, who is God, the Son of God, He's God in the flesh, came to earth to warn about, to tell us. And so I'm just relaying the message. In case you all forgot or never heard it before. I will be judged. You're going to be judged. Everyone's going to be judged. Many will go to hell. Few will go to heaven. You got to hope. You got to start now. If you want to go to heaven, you better change your ways. And you better start believing. You better start living radically different. You better be willing to die for Jesus, for your faith, for your religion. Otherwise, you're not worthy of the kingdom. And you will go to hell. So, I'm realizing more and more that even out of 596 people on Facebook, I have very few friends or family in this world. Very few loyal friends. Very few true Christian friends. True brothers and sisters in Christ. I go to a church full of hundreds of people, but I'm finding out more and more that few of them are truly on fire for Christ and heaven bound. Most of them are lukewarm or apostate. Fake Christians, lukewarm Christians, hellbound Christians. People with just a Christian title. I know this because by the way they treat me and others, and by the way they live their life, and what they post on Facebook, and by who they vote for as president, and by their stance on abortion and gay marriage. You'll know them by their fruit. I'm tired of wasting my time associating with people who have the opposite mentality, the opposite heart, a godless life, a godless heart, a godless mentality, no fear or respect of God. They're on their way to hell. Like, I'm tired of wasting my time with people who are not in Christ with me, who are not on the same page as I am, who don't love and fear God like I do, who don't want to go to heaven like I do, who don't take their faith seriously, who, iron sharpens iron. The blind lead the blind, they both end up in a ditch. I need more people like myself, but they're few. We are few down here. In reality, we are few. There might be 1 billion Catholics, but how many of those Catholics are real Catholics who are truly going to heaven? Not many. And there might be 4 billion Christians out of 8 billion humans on the planet. But how many of those Christians are truly going to heaven? How many are truly Christian? How many already took the jab and are going to take the mark of the beast? How many love their life too much instead of God? How many are willing to die as martyrs for God? Very few. People like to call themselves Christian, sing Christian music, go to church, like it's some kind of fellowship, club med, day spa. You like to call yourself Christian, you like to fantasize about going to heaven one day, but you're not really living the way Christ told you have to live in order to make sure you can go to heaven, in order to guarantee you heaven. 9 out of 10 Christians, it seems, are not going to heaven, are not really getting this, are not authentic, are not radical and traditional and conservative enough. It's scary. It really is. And all we can do is keep warning and teaching about it, hoping we can increase the numbers of saved. But people don't want to hear it. As time goes on, people are going further from God and not wanting to hear it. Their ears are plugged, their consciences are seared, their hearts are cold and hard like stone. But we try anyway. We have to. I have to. Jesus never gave up on any of you until your last dying breath. So he expects his servants, his children, not to give up either. So, that's all. I understand that the world hates me, that my family hates me, that most people hate me. And if hate's too strong of a word, then they just don't like me, don't believe in me, don't respect me, don't want me around, don't want me in their life, don't want anything to do with me, don't want to be associated with me. Jesus said that this would happen to people who follow him. So I'm not surprised, but it's easier said than done. In other words, it's easier to talk about and read about and expect, but when it's actually happening, when you actually have to live through it, it's not easy. It's not pleasant. It's real hard. It's painful. It's sad. It's a very lonely road. I feel like I'm all alone down here like an orphan most of the time. because I know what I know is true, and I know it's important, and I know I have to get this message out to the world, and I know I have to live like a saint so I can hope to get to heaven, so I could even have a chance to get to heaven. And I know that the more I get it right and do what I'm supposed to do, in God's eyes, the world is going to hate and reject me and attack me and persecute me even more, and I'm going to lose more and more friends, and even my fellow Christians and Catholic friends want nothing to do with me anymore. And I'm looking at them saying, why aren't you guys on board with me? Why aren't you guys really taking this as serious as I am? You know, I mean, I don't understand. Why are you guys so lukewarm and so worldly? I don't understand. But I don't know. All I know is you only need a few good friends in this world. You only need a few good Christians, real Christians. In other words, before I end this video, listen, if you're a real Christian, surround yourself with other real Christians and make sure you're really striving for holiness, because it is so imperative at this point. There's no more time to mess around. You need to surround yourself with other authentic Christians or cut them off if they're not. They're either going to bring you up to heaven with them, or they're going to drag you down like a ball and chain to hell with them. You can't afford it. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Take this seriously. You've got to be radical. It'd be better to be all alone in this world than have a lot of friends, because you got to get to heaven. It's too important. You don't want to throw your pearls to swine. And I made this video because I keep realizing that even out of 596 friends, and it went from 5,000 down to 596, most of you have blocked me from even being able to contact you on Facebook Messenger. So that shows to me that you want nothing to do with me, and that I don't even know why you're on my page or in my life. You've cut me off, you've blocked me, you've pushed me away, you've made me feel very bad about myself. You're not a Christian if you do that to someone. Because why are you doing that to me, of all people? What have I ever done to you? I strive for holiness every day. I literally strive to try to be a saint. I'm not doing anything wrong, and I'm not telling you anything that's a lie or wrong. It's not my fault if you don't like it, or if you don't agree with it, or if you don't believe it. I don't know what your issue is with me, but it tells me a lot. It speaks volumes when I go to reach out to some of you and I find that I can't even message you, or that I go and I think about somebody, I go to look for you on my Facebook and we're not even friends anymore. That's messed up. And none of you ever have the courtesy to tell me why you're unfriending me, why you're blocking me, why you're preventing me from messaging you. I already know why. Because I'm a radical, right-wing, Christian, conservative Trump supporter. Well, woe be to you who call good evil and evil good. Because I know I'm on the good side. I know there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. So, and a lot of you can call yourselves Catholics, Protestants, Christians, but look how you treat me. Look what you do. Look what you post on your Facebook page. You're not a Christian. Somebody's got to wake you up and tell you you're not, because Christians don't treat other Christians that way, or anyone that way. And you should know that the Bible warns that what you do to the least of these, you do also to God. So you're hurting God too, who lives in me, by hurting me, by unfriending me, by blocking me, by mocking and criticizing me. You're hurting Him too. He's going to judge you for that. And I'm sure you're doing it not just to me, but other people too. You need to stop. You need to decide whether you're going up or down. You need to decide, are you all in for Christ? And if you're really all in, you're willing to lay your life down. You're going to die for Christ. You know that, right? That's the whole point. Christians die. We get martyred, persecuted. We carry our cross. So, if you can't handle that, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're a coward. Because you need to go all in for Christ, or don't waste your time. He said He'll spew you out of His mouth if you're lukewarm. He'd rather you be cold or hot, but not in between. And most of you are either cold and far from him, so that makes it easy for him to throw you into hell, or you're lukewarm. Apostate. Apostate totally working against his kingdom. Lukewarm is useless. And cold is, you've made your decision. You're not for Christ. You need to be on fire for him. And those of us who try, as unworthy as we are, get hated and rejected even by other people in our own church, even by our own priests and deacons, even by our own family. But I'm not surprised. Jesus said it would happen that way. But it still hurts. And woe be to you who do it. And I'm telling you, in 2024, I'm cutting things off. I'm not going to have you on my Facebook page if it's not benefiting you or me. If you're not my friend, you don't need to be on my Facebook page. Because if you're not my friend, that means you don't love and respect me or care about what's good for me. And if you don't love God, you're his enemy. And that means you're my enemy. But if you love Jesus, then you're his friend, and that means you're a friend to me too. So, why are you on my Facebook page if you're an atheist, a Satanist, agnostic, a Biden voter? What business do we have together, light and dark? We have nothing in common. If you don't watch my videos, if you don't like them and support them and find truth in them, then why are you on my page? So I'm going to get rid of a lot of you people. I don't care if I only have 20 people on my Facebook page at this point. Who cares? I make these videos for those who will benefit from them, and I hope they are public so that hopefully other people will benefit from them. I'm doing it for God and for love of man, and because I'm compelled to. But I know that most of the people on my page don't watch them or benefit from them or believe in them or even like them. You know? So for those who do, good, thank you. But if I have to go and try to contact you and find out you've blocked me or unfriended me, or if you've blocked me from messaging you on Facebook, then I'm going to unfriend you and get rid of you because you obviously want nothing to do with me. That's not how friends behave, and that is certainly unchristian behavior. That's all I'm saying. And I'm tired of having 596 people on my page who are not my friend and who are not my brother or sister in Christ. What are you doing? And then you're useless. You're useless to God. You're useless to me. I reach out to try to message you. I can't even message you. I can't call you. I can't contact you. What's the point? So please, unfriend me if you're not my friend. If you're not a fellow brother or sister in Christ, unfriend me. If you're not my friend, if you don't like me, if you don't care about me, if you don't respect me, unfriend me. If you've blocked me from contacting you on Facebook, then what's the point of being on my page at all? Unfriend me. Because obviously you don't like me anyway, and I don't want you on my page if you don't like me. If you don't do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through and I'm going to reach out to people, and if I find that my videos are not being viewed, you've blocked me, that I can't message you, I'm unfriending you. So, I mean, why don't you just tell me, if I message you something, you could tell me, please don't message me that, or I don't like that, or what, and I'll respect it. But most of you people, see, here's what the internet does to people. It makes you a coward. You hide behind your stupid Facebook profile, your Instagram. It's all fake. Most of you are fake. You don't really, like me, pour out your heart on here so that people get to really know you. You just put the side of you that you want people to see. Oh, how happy my life is. Oh, look at me here. Look at how pretty I am. Look at me in vacation. Oh, look how good my life is. You don't use it to glorify God. Only yourself. You're not even real. You're not honest on here. You put fake profile photos or doctored up photos. You put only what you want on there. You hide your friends so people can't see who you're friends with. You block people from messaging you. What is the point? Like, it's just stupid. Why bother at all then if we can't be real? And what really bothers me is when somebody unfriends me or blocks me, they don't even tell me. Like, tell me you don't like me. Tell me you don't like what I posted. Whatever. Don't just ghost me. Don't just do that and make me find out sometimes years later that I think we're friends and I go to reach out to you and you're gone. Oh, where'd my friend? Oh, you're missing? When did you unfriend me? And all this time I thought we were friends? That really is messed up. That's really deceptive and hurtful. Or I go to contact you and send you a Facebook message and I'm blocked from doing so. And it's like, but this person goes to church with me. I grew up with this person. I went to school with this person. Why did they do this? Why are they on my page if I can't even contact them? That's messed up. And you don't even tell me I'm blocking you? I'm unfriending you? I don't want you messaging me? At least be a mature adult enough person to say, listen, I don't have anything in common with you. I don't like you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to associate with you. I'd have more respect for you. I deserve the same respect I give you in return. I deserve respect. You don't give me a chance. You disrespect me without me even knowing, and you don't even give me... I mean, come on, why can't you give me the respect and dignity I deserve? Why do you treat me the way you would not want to be treated? Don't call yourself a Christian if that's how you act, because you're not. You don't have the heart of Christ. Jesus doesn't behave that way, and neither does his true Christians. His true saintly heaven-bound people. We don't act that way. So, you might deceive others, but you're not deceiving me, and you're certainly not deceiving God. So you can go to church until Jesus returns. That's not going to guarantee you to go to heaven if you live this way and behave this way. And treat people this way. So for those of you who have ears to hear, get your house in order and your life right with Christ now. You're running out of time. You need to take your faith seriously and stop being lukewarm and apostate. And for those of you who do not believe in Jesus Christ at this point, you're a stupid fool. You really are. I'm sorry, but you are ignorant, deceived, deaf, dumb, blind, and you deserve the hell you're going to get. And I warn you, get your head out of the sand and wake up and start realizing that people like me don't spend all these hours making videos like this for no reason. We do it because we know that Jesus Christ is real, heaven and hell are real, and everyone needs to know this, and we don't want you to end up in hell. So if you still don't want to believe in Jesus, and you don't want to hear this, you don't want to hear about him, then get off my Facebook page. We have nothing in common. Because an enemy of God is an enemy of mine.